daylight rolls in, stores fly and the night begins. Some talk steak, some talk life, some just trying to get it right. Names on the screen, but it feels real close. Laughing easy like we're all on the porch. Different roads, but we meet right here. Pull up a chair, we're already there. Target prime rib, come on in. Riblets gather, let the talk begin. Laugh a little, say what it is. Ain't no pressure here in this carnivore keto. However you roll, we're just talking live and feeding the soul. Ain't about perfect, just where you're at. We're all hanging out, chewing the fat. Come on back, chewing the fat.
Hey,
That's
hey,
cool.
how you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Good. I'm doing okay. Yeah, I wasn't feeling very well today, but I'm a little bit better now. Had a good nap, so a little groggy, but better.
Good, good.
This is Target Prime Rib, obviously, and we're here with Coach Mandy. So we'll say hello to a few people in the chats. I tried getting Instagram, but for some reason Instagram's giving me a little bit of agita, so I'll work on that. But for right now, they're gonna have to lose out, whoever's on Instagram. So we got Sandy Blythe, my carnivore mom, actually was in the chats earlier, but I'm not sure if she's still there because she had to take a nap. And then we got Rick Charger Mopar,
Oh yeah,
all the way from Miami, Florida. Yeah. And we got Coach Angela Mullins here. Hey, Angela, how you doing? And we got Jiffy is also here, and Terry Girl is here. And we can't forget, we got Carnivore Muscle is here, one of my members. So you got quite a few people here, and I know it's going to grow because the one thing I do learn is it's almost like a chia plant. You put enough water in it, it does grow. And Brenda Jones. So what I'm going to do is I will put on the screen anybody that comes in new, and anybody that has a QQQ question, I will put it in I'll star it, and we'll save it for when we do the questions. D is here, thinking for myself. Hey D, how you doing? So I think I met you with KILTZ. I think you're part of the KILTZ group, if I'm not mistaken. And and I also saw you on Instagram.
KILTZ is certifiable. Yeah.
You think? So here we go. Jonathan, he's been a member for 2 months. Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate the support. And so let's start off like we always do with my guest story, and that would be you. So I see you got a pen and paper. I don't know what kind of notes you're going to take.
No, it's if I think of something, I'll write it down and hopefully look at it and come back to it if I need to.
Oh, okay.
It's just a memory aid for me. Yeah. So I'm Mandy. I've always been overweight. I was always athletic, and I always had a huge appetite for food. I loved how each bite made me feel, each swallow. The more I could stuff down, the better I felt. I thought I felt. And I could burn it off. I could run around for hours. I was in a camogie club back home in Ireland, and I played for 3 different teams in the same club because I had so much energy, and I just loved to hang out there and hit that ball around the place and chase after it. So I could always hide what I ate because, you know, I was burning it off. I was very muscular as well. And like I say, I never stopped. I was always, if I wasn't playing on the field, I was showing somebody else how to play, or I was cycling all over the place. So my weight, I had an injury and my weight plummeted. And I needed to have knee surgery when I fell when I was 16. I was a foul on a field, and I hurt my knee, and it was 2 years later that somebody took me serious, that I was in serious pain, and I had finally surgery. So that kind of put me out of action for 2 years, and I kind of lost that. It was at that peak time in your life when you start meeting boys and go down that making baby route, and you know, and all of a sudden I'm 25 and I'm 232 pounds, which is not a usual body size, body weight in Ireland. You know, I was the huge sister, the huge niece. And everybody was always commenting about my weight, everybody. But nobody ever addressed what I was eating, you know, for that weight, you know. And I was ridiculed all the time for being so overweight. And I just, because I was fit, I didn't really worry about it, because, you know, I still had all that muscle tone, and I could get by. But I did start at 25 to experience a lot of pain. So much so, my doctor, after months of testing, sent me for tests for rheumatoid arthritis, all that kind of thing. And I didn't want to take painkillers. I didn't want medicine. I wanted to feel better. And I always kind of had this idea that food was going to be the medicine, you know, that a healthy diet should really be that road. And so I started making fruit smoothies. A friend of mine developed cervical cancer, and she read a book, and following this person's advice, it was Philip Day, he wrote a book on how to cure cancer. And he was an investigational journalist. And I think it was his auntie who'd gotten sick with cancer. And so he did all of this research and found that a particular diet aided in helping fight the battle of cancer. And it certainly did, my friend. She did go vegetarian, but that was 15 years ago, and thankfully she's still with us today, has made a full recovery, did not have to have chemo or radiotherapy or any of those things, and is thriving, but she's gone back to the standard way of eating. And kudos to her. She's living a very cancer-free life. That's what we'll say, 15 years later. And she went up against all of the doctors, all of the medical advice and everything. And I was her little cheerleader because I did believe diet could help. So coming forward today, that diet didn't help me at all. That diet gave me hypertension. That diet gave me pre-diabetes at 25, 26 years of age. My pain increased. I couldn't eat anything. I felt, you know, everything kind of inflamed me. So it didn't work for me. And she was totally perplexed, you know. And as I say, I had 2 small kids at the time, and we're trying to get right diets for them. My oldest boy had autism, and my youngest had very bad eczema. So I was trying to really, I found on the journey that nothing in the medical field was addressing any of the issues that we as a family were experiencing. So I really went down rabbit holes to try and find out what I could do. I really, to be honest, I was kind of annoyed with myself. I was the size that I was, but I was aiming for health, always aiming for health, good health. So then I moved to America. where everything you eat is loaded with sugar, hidden sugars that I was not prepared for. Prior to moving to America, I must say I lost 50 pounds. I did go down I did go down to 180 before I moved to America. But when I got here, I ballooned up again to about 220. And I just couldn't believe it, because I was thinking I'm eating healthy still. I'm eating the right foods that I would have lost weight prior, like oatmeal, like sweet potatoes, like all that kind of thing. But I think the foods that I didn't realize were loaded with sugar made me insulin resistant, those foods that I was eating, but I didn't know at the time. And I was going to the gym 5 days a week, hitting that gym for an hour every day, 5 days a week. And the trainer would kind of stop and look at me when I was on the elliptical machine. And I said to him one day, I know what you're thinking. I know you see me here and I am not going to McDonald's after. I promise you, I'm eating what I think I should be eating. Because I knew he was looking at the fact that I was gaining weight. I was becoming huge. So I said, if you have any suggestions, very nice fella in Planet Fitness, if you have any suggestions, I am all ears. He said, have you ever thought about doing keto? And I had done Atkins and I had all of the fear, and I had done Atkins about 5 years previous to that. And I did that for about a month, and just the people banished me from that diet. They really scared me off it. And of course I was so afraid of cancer because of my dear friend that I was very reluctant to eat animal protein. As much I always loved animal protein, but I was really reluctant to do what I was doing when I did that Atkins diet for about a month, 6 weeks. So anyway, he said that, and I said, I would love to do that diet, but I'm just so afraid. And about 2 weeks later, a really good friend of mine here, she recommended the keto diet, and she had dieted her whole life. And she was really advocating this, and she really felt that I could do it. So I gave it a go. And in 2 weeks, I could not believe how good I felt. I couldn't believe that after 2 days, I had no cravings. I couldn't believe the energy that I was getting, and I was just shrinking fast. After 6 weeks, I'd lost 50 pounds, and I just could not believe it. I thought this was a miracle. I was advocating it to everybody. Hello, Brian. And so much so that people were coming up to me and asking me, was I sick? What was I, or, and I told them, no, never felt better, and would tell them then what I was doing. And a couple of people came on board. But during this time, I was not really on the internet. I didn't really look at YouTube or any of those things. And I had just, I don't know how I found this so easy, but my friend had just given me a couple of tips. Just eat meat, just eat cheese, and nothing else, and you should be good. And it's green vegetables. That was it. Green vegetables, cheese, and meat. And I stuck to that. And I kept, I think I 20 grams. She had said something about keeping under 20 grams of carbs, and I was doing like 5 carbs a day. So it was amazing. But then I did start listening to, because people were recommending to me, have I seen this video? And different influencers for keto came on my radar after I was doing keto for about a year. And I couldn't believe the control that I had over what I was eating, that I wasn't ravenous anymore. I would eat a meal and that would be it for me for the rest of the day. And I had to kind of say, is this real? Is this really happening to me, that I'm not hungry? Because I was never satisfied up until this. And then I started down that rabbit hole of trying to make keto bread. And I was so annoyed with myself because I didn't really want it. I was really satisfied with the same meal every day. I was so satisfied with that. And then I got real annoyed with myself that I tried to, interject something else into the diet because I didn't feel like I was missing out not having anything bready, So I was so mad. And then we had the pandemic. And I maintained over the pandemic. I did start drinking during the pandemic, but I maintained everything. But when we went out back into social settings, oh my God, the bullying that I got, and I allowed myself to be bullied. I allowed myself to question what I was doing. I allowed people to question what I was doing when, hello, for 2.5 years, I did this. And I don't know. I want to think I'm stronger than that, but I did. It was like, just join them. Just go back to doing what everybody else likes and just, satisfy the bunch. And there I was again, just ballooning, feeling awful, feeling all the pain again, back in all my joints. And even though I knew this was not for me, I'm going back on keto, I couldn't get back on. I couldn't do 2 weeks on keto. And I was like, what is going on? What's wrong with me? Why? I knew I wasn't a weak-willed person. I knew I was strong. I knew I could do it. I had done it before. But just whatever had gotten a hold of me emotionally, psychologically, and all these things I found to be true then. I then joined Adapt Your Life Academy with Dr. Eric Westman, Amy Berger. And through them, I was telling a group last night, I always resisted the sugar addiction people because I didn't think I was an addict. Even though I mean, it doesn't make sense now, right? Because, all the things I'm saying is the sayings of an addict, but I didn't realize it at the time. And so I found myself resisting paying full attention to these ladies, these gentlemen that were on there trying to help us understand sugar addiction, food addiction. And I decided, you're rejecting this, and it's time you sat down and really paid attention, and I'm pointing my finger at me because this is your life, this is your health, and you've got to get a grip on this. You don't have a grip, so you really need to pay attention. And so I started listening to them, and Dr. Vera Tarman was one of our speakers, and she really put it so well, what happens to our brain when we eat sugary foods. And even I might not be eating cake or bars of chocolate or candy, but the fact that I'm so insulin resistant now at this stage, and I'm eating a vegetable, that I think is healthy, but it is having the same internal combustion as if I was eating a Snickers bar. The damage that it is doing to my body, because my body just can't handle those complex carbohydrates anymore. It's still fueling my body with blood glucose, with insulin, and the insulin can't get a balance on the blood glucose. Of course, I don't have the science for that, but thankfully, through doing the carnivore coaching course, I was able to fully understand that. But the same chemical reactions that somebody has in the brain if they snort cocaine is what happens to us when we eat sugar, and it takes over. Our brain goes on a whole new level, and we are just not able to pull those reins to halt that. Just like this, just like some people, some very lucky people. I'm not one of them. Yeah. then my husband got heart disease, and my blood work was looking okay, except for the LDL. And the cardiologist, we saw the same cardiologist, of course, he went bananas, because my LDL was through the roof. So I said to him, well, that's just, one little number, but everything else looks great. I feel great, because I had managed to kind of get on keto, but not be able to stick to it. But I wasn't feeling those effects of the, I guess I was ketoing enough to get by. And so he asked me to go for a CAC score, because I was telling him we were doing keto. And we went downtown, went in the tunnel, got the reading, and I couldn't believe it. I was 0. And I was so afraid. I was so afraid that I was going to be absolutely full of plaque, because I get such a build-up on my teeth of plaque. I'll have my teeth cleaned, and I'll come out of the office and have more plaque build-up. And so I was afraid, look, I'm prone to plaque.
Okay.
I can't keep it from me. So anyway, when I got that 0, I couldn't wait to tell him on the portal, I messaged the doctor on the portal that I had a 0. And he said, okay, well, come back and see me in 3 months. And I said, for what? Like, I haven't got heart disease. I'm not coming back to you. Forget about it. But my husband had 1955 on his calcium score. And so we were really concerned about him. And so from that, I said, we tried a few different blood pressure medicines for him and statins. And it was horrible. He had horrible side effects. He lost mobility from Repatha, awful things. So we were back in the cardiologist's office, and he was like, we're going to have to start injecting you, because, we have to do something. And I said, well, give us another 3 months. We're going to go away, and we're definitely doing carnivore. And he was like, oh, I don't want you to do that. And I'm like, well, I've heard different things about it, and we're going to give it a go. We've tried a couple of your things. Now it's trying to try a few of these things and see where we go. And it was unbelievable. It was really unbelievable. His numbers start coming down immediately. A year later, 18 months later, the doctor wanted to check his carotid arteries, because he really wanted to scare me off the video. Do you hear me? Off the diet. And he said, we're going to have an ultrasound of those carotid arteries in your neck, which lead down into your heart. And I was like, whatever you want, we'll do it. And so we were booked in, had that scan or ultrasound, and it was completely clear. And we go back, of course, on the portal, texting the doctor. And he just didn't know what to do with us. So the next visit that we had with him, I asked him, I know there'll be other clients that you have that the medicines are not doing what you want. Do you think you might advocate this diet for them? And he said, absolutely not. And I said, well, that's such a shame, because you actually see evidence of what's going on here. With my husband, and how he's reversed everything. And he goes, no, I'll never advocate that. Now, he has read certain papers that I've sent to him that we've gotten. And fair dues to him. He says he will always be up learning, upskilling. So that's good. Unfortunately, my husband, because we were late getting to the party, and my husband did develop dementia. And I really do feel it was exacerbated by the fact that he was prescribed an SRI that his body couldn't handle. And since we've learned his body he doesn't tolerate a lot of medicines. And he also developed atrial flutter from an ear infection. He got a really, really bad ear infection, which brought that on. And through those different episodes, we'll say, we've still seen great healing. And we've had bird's eye view now from surgeons of really going in with scopes, checking around his heart for clots and things like that after a procedure that he had. And he sees a fantastic, healthy heart. Hi, Tom. He sees a really healthy heart. Can't believe that my husband was in atrial flutter for 8 months and survived without a worse episode. And I'm just hoping and I'm praying that we keep going, and we see positive results from his neurological state right now. He has been cleared from cardiology now for a whole year. And also the neurologist that we saw last week said he wants to see us in 6 months, and he expects to not want to see us for a whole year after that next visit. So that's real positive. I feel very happy about that. My confidence was kind of waning a little bit. I felt disappointed, but again, where would he be today if he was not? I keep asking myself, where would he be today had he not been carnivore? Certainly, the disease would have took a more drastic grip on him, and he I shudder to think, what his quality of life would be today if it were not for carnivore. And that's me. I'm done.
Well, that's good. Yeah. So I'm sorry about your husband.
Thank you.
No problem. No problem. So we got a few, not really a couple questions, but Juliet also mentions how sorry she is for your husband, and let's hide that comment. And then we have a little bit of a battle going on here. We just see if that's a question. Nope. Okay. A lot of people saying hi to each other, because a few people came in a little late. So when somebody comes in, then everybody's saying hi to that person. And we're getting a little bit of a battle between Terry Sue and Feral Grandma, just a little bit about potatoes. And Terry Sue starts it off with, the Irish potato story is always a good one. Let you know you really can't trust carbs. Farmers cannot control weather. So, okay.
What's the Irish potato story? Says that Irish girl, right?
I was hoping that you could tell me that, but
there was a famine.
And then the Feral Grandma, TG potatoes aren't from Ireland, but English landowners wanted people eating cheaply so they could sell meat away for greater profit. Wow, it's okay. And then the last one is, when the Irish found out how easily potatoes grew there, they became very dependent on them until they got betrayed by them at Feral. And then she's talking on the Feral Grandma on that one.
Yeah.
And then we got one question, but it's more of a statement. Mandy, you are doing great, from Wendy, Feral Grandma.
Thank you. Thank you.
Got a new question here. Feral Grandma's also, I better do a short about a seatbelt clips I use. It helps the shoulders drop off my neck, so I have less concern about extra pressure against the carotid artery. Yeah, for sure. I agree with you.
Hey, I never even thought about the dangers of a seatbelt on my carotid artery. But now...
Why would you think that?
And I'm a school bus driver. Wow. Yes, because impact. Yeah, blood everywhere. Okay.
So I'm looking. So if you guys have any questions or anything, just like Wendy did, put QQQ in front. If we can do it, you can do it, guys. So, yeah. And so, oh God. Obviously, sorry about not being too prepared, because
you're fine.
I was like really bad with my stomach today. And, like I never like, usually, like if I'm not feeling well, I just kind of be like, okay, we'll still do the show, but but I
Hmm.
was like, I wasn't sure, like a little disclaimer to everybody. I was, and Mandy knows this. I actually did email her. The only other person that knew about it was Lewis. Um, and that was just because I was going to switch you with him
Hmm.
originally because I have him coming on next Saturday.
Yeah.
So, I was like, okay, Lewis will do any day. So, I figured just next week. But
Lewis is a champ. Let me
he
tell
is.
you, Lewis
He
is the champ. He
and
knows what he did.
he's probably here. Just to
Yeah,
let you
he
know.
knows what he did. Thank
Yeah,
you, Lewis. Hmm.
he's probably here. But I started feeling a little bit better and better enough where it was like, okay, I'll just take a nap. And that was the rub I had. I took a nap. Took a little bit longer to take that nap, but I took a nap and I woke up groggy about a half an hour before coming on here.
Well, you did
which,
good. Hey, you
which,
look good, kiddo.
thank you. Which they say never do that, but I
Uh,
did it. Mandy, it's like like before you go to work, it's like don't take a nap before going to work because you're going
oh
to be
yeah.
even more tired. It's like I got to go to work now. Okay. All right, Juliet. Mandy, you are always so cheerful and supportive. Where you always like, were you always like that, or do you feel carnivore impacted you personally, your personality?
Um, I will say, yeah, I've always been like this. I've took so much abuse for always looking like I don't have problems, and it couldn't be further from the truth. My whole life, even as a young child, I remember. I think I was about 12 or 13. And I remember somebody saying, God, you're always smiling. You don't have any problems. I had awful problems, let me tell you. I was never home because I never wanted to be home. It was a scary place back at home. But yeah, I kind of, not that I want to entertain people. I do feel happy. Maybe I have something lying on my brain. I shouldn't joke about that. Oh, good Lord. Um, no, I've always been happy. I'm very self-sufficient. I moved myself and my kids when they were very small to the west of Ireland, um, because I couldn't get proper, no, I don't want to say proper housing. I wanted a house for me and my kids. I was a single parent family, and we moved to the west of Ireland, and we were so, the happiness just came to us. I was very fortunate with my outlook. I shudder to think what my kid's life might have been had I been a miserable cow. Um, yeah, no, I'm very happy with my personality. Carnivore definitely has given me more confidence. Like last night, I I had a little support group and I really went for it, and Lewis really helped me. But I don't think I would have had the confidence to do that, except I believe in this so much. I believe in for helping people. I really want to help people. I really want for people to live their best life and feel their best. And this is the way, the medical way hasn't helped me. It didn't help me. And really, it hasn't helped my husband. Um, it's caused more problems for him. And thankfully, they were able to solve those problems. But if they hadn't, if I'd have never given him one particular medication, he might never have, been where he is right now. But maybe down the road he would have been, but definitely not this soon in his life. I'm talking about that SSRI. Mm.
All right. So Terry Sue asked the question, Amanda, do you live in an RV?
I do.
That. And then she asked, where is Bora Bora?
I don't
And
know.
she follows with, I feel like King Kong might live there. So I don't see why
I,
that wouldn't be
I,
true.
I don't know King Kong. I do love him though.
And she's asking, how old is your husband?
My husband is 67.
So he's young.
Yeah, yeah. I hope you can't hear my dog barking. He's barking.
We hear him like,
Oh, do you hear him? Yeah, he's a hound.
can't, you have to love him, right?
Yeah, yeah. He's alerting my husband to something.
Probably like, there's somebody on the screen with her.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, it definitely is young for dementia for sure, Terry. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
And he lost his sister, who was 70 last year with Parkinson's and dementia. This is the thing that really gets me. So she had a file that thick, and when she went into the hospital the last time, her granddaughter brought the file to the hospital, and I looked through it. I was given permission. And on the file, it said how she had dementia. And a year before, she was in the hospital. And when she went home, she was given hospice care. And like everybody, they were sticking their heads in the sand. And I was like, they give you hospice care only for one reason. And they were like, oh, no, this is the way to get around such a thing, to give her help. And I'm like, no, not these days. They're not cutting corners. This is, we need to talk about this. And subsequently, anyway, she had a horrible last year. But in the file, it was, dementia, and she was given 6 months at that time. Nobody read the file. And I ended up terrible situation. She was, on lung support for like 2 weeks. And that was the only thing helping her to breathe. She couldn't breathe by herself. And her brain subsequently had a severe trauma, but horrible. Horrible. And food could have helped her. Meat could have helped her. Yeah, it's so sad. It's so angering,
So, Juliet just asked, what kind of dog do you have?
I have a mutt. He is, I asked Chatty PC, so I can't say that right. I showed him a picture of him, and he reckons he's between a coon hound and a healer, or a walking hound. But I'll try and get up a little picture. He doesn't come up to the bedroom. We have to have some around here. Yeah, but he's a great. I got the dog as a support for my husband. My husband also was diagnosed, when he was diagnosed with dementia, as having high functioning autism. And he always had a dog his whole life until we moved into this RV. And then we both became school bus drivers. So we didn't really feel it was fair to get a dog. But when he was diagnosed with dementia, a couple of months went by, and he was really talking about going and rescuing a dog. So we did. And I'm happy to say the dog, it really motivates my husband to get up out of a chair. With the autism, he sits a lot, stimming, looking into his phone, maybe not registering anything in there, but just in a zone. And he could stay there all day. But the dog, he will, for the dog's sake, take the dog outside and walk him around and just be with him. He'll sit outside a little bit more as well, which the sun has really helped. And so much so, the improvements, I give him 10 milligrams of creatine. His body can't handle anymore. If I give him more than 10 milligrams, he loses everything. So I give him 10 milligrams of creatine, 2 tablespoons of butter. And as of this morning, I'm giving him 1 tablespoon of MCT oil with C8 and C10 in that, as recommended by Connie last night. And when we sold his truck, there was a bit of an episode, and right, that was his kind of last independence. He was very set off by that, and he stopped. He kind of protested, and he stopped taking that thing in his coffee, the creatine, everything in his coffee, and he can tell the difference of how it was affecting him, how he wasn't, firing at all. And so going back on it, he was on it again steady for 6 weeks. And then we went to see the neurologist last week. And he came out of that office very emotional when the neurologist said, I don't want to see you for another 6 months. And probably won't want to see you for 12 months after that. And he really has. He gets really angry going to this particular neurologist because he feels he's the one that set everything in motion. Not reasonable, but it's how he feels. So he turned to me and he said, I know it's what you put in my coffee that's been really helping me to perform better, not perform for the doctor, but to be performing every day better, that he's kind of coming back to himself. And it did make a huge difference when he stopped taking it. Oh man. Yeah. Mood, everything was really, really affected. So.
Yeah. Oh. All right. So Carnivore Wayne is here. Hey, Carnivore Wayne, how you doing? And you just hide that. And all right. So Terry Girl, she starts off with telling me that I need a parakeet for my shoulder. Okay.
What do I need? If you get a parakeet, what do I get?
Maybe another. There's many
parakeets. I'll get a patch for my.
We'll get you a patch. Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good. Okay. So yeah, no, Terry, believe it or not, we used to have parakeets. My mom, I actually even built its own cage. Like I built a special wooden cage for it, that like a tower cage. And it was originally started out to be like 5 of them, but then one in particular was so obnoxious to them that it ended up killing the other 4, giving them all heart attacks. At least that's what we tell people.
Well, what's the real story now? You got to tell us.
Oh, probably just whatever,
Boo!
But no, he used to he for some reason, he or she, because like we never looked, so we could never tell. But he used to go behind the person while they were eating and start screaming at them.
Oh my!
And eventually, like they would just do each one and just But yeah, when we first moved here, we had a yellow one and a green one that we named Lemon and Lime.
Oh.
And then when Lemon died, we were going to get a white one and call him Coconut, because lime and the coconut. But we ended up not getting the white one. We ended up getting a blue one instead, and it just didn't fit. So we named him Sky. And Sky was the one who was killing everybody because we ended up getting Lime. Actually, Lemon was probably the first one that Sky killed. And then we got another one that we named Groot from
a Disney movie.
What was that?
What was that Disney movie?
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then I forget there was another one too, but I forget what it.
Okay.
He lasted like maybe a day. It's like.
Your bird killers over there.
Yes. So.
Lucky they weren't at Rick's because he might have
Oh, well, they're too small. They'd be like appetizers. They're all like this big, you know. But the cage was huge. One of these days I'll see if I can find pictures and show you guys what everything looked like.
Nice. Well, here's my dog. I don't know if you'll. Oh no, technology and moi. I don't know. Can you see that?
Oh, look at
I
that.
don't know, but he loves to lick that stool. He just keeps licking it, and it stinks now. Anyway, that was it. That was for Juliet.
Crime time with Thomas. All right, there's a couple more things I have. Yeah, and then she says, parakeet Thomas, it would do great with your red shirt to do a blue one. Parakeets are sweet little birds, and that's how I know they're sweet little birds. Of course, that one wasn't very sweet, but you know. And then thing for myself, D is saying, Mandy, you're going through a lot. Have you found that you're able to handle more as a carnivore?
I mean, I haven't thought about it till that question. Is it carnivore? I do have a very strong faith. Um, and I have to attribute that to my God, of course. Is carnivore helping me? Absolutely. Of course it is. I'm pain free. I had a very bad fall 2 years ago, and I needed a lot of physiotherapy. I had all my because of medical advice telling me to ice bad sprains and strains. My muscles crystallized, and it was really, really difficult to try and get them. And so much so, still today, it's like they petrify. I can feel them, squeezing in like this all the time. My hand will kind of, if I don't work out and stretch for a couple of weeks, I can feel them doing all of that. But the carnivore really did help me with the healing and with everything. And to be able to be on top of things, yes, not to have brain fog, not to go into my own misery because I am distracted by sugary foods. That held me in prison for so long. Being addicted to foods, having no control over those foods. I only have control over one bite, and I choose not to eat that bite of sugary foods, of carbs. Otherwise, who knows where I'll be? Who knows what will happen to my husband? So yeah, I have to own that. And carnivore helps me stay on track with that. Yeah, so absolutely carnivore helps me. But what I place my trust in, where my strength comes from, is definitely from my God, and then my community. But I don't think I would be able to make the decisions that I make without that relationship that I have with my God.
Hey Aaron, how you doing? Booby Goats is here in the chats. And then Terry Girl says, Dr. Berry says, not the ice wounds. The inflammation is there to protect and heal the area, which
Hoorah! Yes.
That's pretty profound there, Terry Girl.
Yeah.
Let's give her that. And then Brian asks, Mandy, what is the single biggest thing that has happened to you on the carnivore lifestyle? So it's the one win that you've noticed. At least that's what I think he's getting at.
With my health, definitely not being pre-diabetic anymore, definitely not having hypertension. All of those things are huge wins for me. I reversed perimenopause. I saw my OBGYN last year, and he said to me, yeah, that's not on the horizon for you right yet. You've got a few more good years to go and have a baby at 52. I don't think so. They're all huge wins, big things. But the biggest thing for me was, as a carnivore, was really joining KILTZ's carnivore coaches doing the course. I'm not a very educated person unless you call Bible education. And well, I rate that a very high education.
Right.
Yeah, but being able to, to go toe to toe with a doctor who studied for years and advocate for my husband, that is really a huge win. And when they turn and they say to you, have you been to medical school? And that's excellent, but it's because of this education that I've gotten from KILTZ's carnivore coaching. Yeah.
There's this guy that I know. He might be here, he might not be here. He's a very nice guy. He's the father of somebody that works at the pizza place, and I worked with him for a short bit too. But he unfortunately had, it's his personal story, but he had a similar story to mine. So with everything that's happened to me, it's pretty much happening to him. And we were talking, and I was telling him about what I was doing and everything like that. And I told him I'll help him if he'd like me to help him. But it's amazing how, like, he's like, well, I wasn't told, like, I was told this, like he's, like, we're asking about, like, how many times a day do you eat? He's like, well, I eat, like, I'm told to eat all day, and I'm like, no, you need to give your body a break. He's like, well, I was never told that, and it's just amazing how society, and you had the one doctor that was like, I'm not going to advocate, because it's like, this is what we're taught, it's like, and it's possible he could have been thinking in his head, like I agree with what you're saying, but it's not that I won't advocate, it's that I can't advocate.
The doctor told me to do this,
Right. Yeah. And it's like,
yeah.
But so many people, like, he's like, yeah, I'm like, well, what are you having for dinner? And he's like, well, I'm going to have a big plate of spaghetti. And it's like, well, it's a carb.
Yeah.
It's a carb.
Yeah. And it's okay. Carbs are okay for people that are not metabolically challenged, and they're
but that's rare, and
few and far.
So I hope that he's able to get better and do, but unfortunately he's going through some things.
Yeah.
But he's a nice guy. He really is. He's very, very nice. So if he is listening, like I told his son subscribes to my channel. Whether he watches it or not is a different story, because the kid's 20 years old and he could just be subscribing to give me support, But I told him, I said, make sure you give your dad the channel. Let him see my story. Let him see what's going on. And
listen, don't knock your channel, or you're not knocking them, right? But YouTube is the greatest thing that has ever happened for me and my health journey, and for my husband, and Lord knows who else. Because if we were to be relying on those of us that have taken, Dr. Berry's advice, Kerry Mann, Dr. Westman, Dr. KILTZ, Dr. Nelson, we are so grateful. Ovadia, Sean Baker, only for those guys, we would be so sick still today. So YouTube, I say this all the time, I haven't made a YouTube video for a couple of weeks, but I always say I'm so grateful to YouTube for how they have helped, how they have, even though despite themselves, we have this story through them. We have this access to this information.
Yeah, it's so true.
And the kids today they know, the kids, before they have to go. I hear kids all the time, because I'm a school bus driver, and I hear, yeah, all the time talking about meat, just eating meat, low carb, and fair play to them. And when they need to take their health seriously, but for the most part, I meet a lot of young people that are definitely reclaiming their health, making the best of the years, as they're younger, down at the gym, down at the, and even listening to my own kids, the knowledge that they have. It was my son actually told me about creatine before ever I heard of it on YouTube. And of course, that's where he heard it. And when we saw the neuropsychologist, I had already put down on my husband's supplements that he was taking creatine, and she advised me to start him on creatine. I'm like, yeah, no, he's already taken that. We're good. And so that was YouTube.
Very cool. So I'm looking to see if I see anything. Oh, well, here's a statement from Terry Sue. I don't like it when people knock the big guys. They are the doctors that are still researching and making this total project. They don't deserve to be disrespected. Okay.
Which doctors now? Which?
Yeah.
You mean Dr. Barry, Dr. Baker?
Oh yeah, I mean no one. Yeah, I mean they're doing a good job, and I totally agree with that.
I do. Rock on. Yeah.
And I guess it's true that they are the big guys because
Yeah.
I have total respect for 99% of the doctors in the carnivore community because they're taking such a risk, every day, even like Dr. KILTZ, think about it, he's taking such a risk doing what he does. Dr. Chafee, it's kind of, isn't that kind of where like Chris Brandlin kind of like came into play because he was advocating for Dr. Baker and Dr. Chafee. So, and then he became carnivore himself is pretty much,
Yeah. Oh, he became carnivore after.
Well, I don't, to tell you the truth, I don't know if that's true or not. I just think that that's the case. Like, I mean, it could have been like he could have been carnivore, and that's why Dr. Baker chose him because of the fact he was carnivore.
Oh, right.
Like, what better lawyer to represent me than another carnivore?
I wasn't aware he was Dr. Baker's lawyer, but that makes sense.
I think he started with Dr. Baker, and
that
then
makes a lot of sense, yeah.
And then he went to Dr. Chafee. I think again, you hear things, and whether or not they're true or not is a different story. Like what's that old saying? Believe in like all, believe in nothing that you hear and only half of what you see or something like that.
Yeah. And another great guy, Chris Brandlin. Yeah, he really helped me on my journey as well, becoming a coach, with getting my name, getting started legally. Another great guy.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I obviously, I think Baker was definitely before Chris Brandlin, but Dr. Baker is huge in more ways than one, Feral Grandma.
Yeah.
Yes. Huge. And he's huge. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Together Strong. I thought, I put it in, but you can't watch the chat. So, hello, John. John, in case Amanda doesn't know, he's the one that made the song in the beginning of the video.
Oh, right. Nice. Beautiful song. Very catchy.
Yeah. So, and Rick says, Baker is huge. Look how much bigger he is than me. Yeah, but aren't you taller than Dr. Baker, Rick?
I think he's pretty tall, Dr. Baker.
He is, but I think Rick is taller. I think Rick is at least a half an inch on him.
A half inch? I don't know.
At least, I mean, according to the pictures, as they met. So, So we got about 25. Let's see who's on Instagram. Girl Gone Carnivore. Hey, Girl Gone. If you're still here, hello. And I think Girl Gone is supposed to be on my channel soon. I have to look at my calendar to find out when. And then we got Carolina Carnivore. It's here. And Yellow Rose, Target Prime Rib. Hi, Thomas, Amanda, and everyone. you can't forget everyone. Everyone is very important there.
Hey, Sandy. Or
and
Sandy.
Sandy came back. How was your nap, Sandy? And Carolina says, good evening, by the way.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. So, yeah, so everybody has any QQQs, put them in front. And yeah, my former roommate, he's not my roommate anymore, but he actually, we think that he might be forming dementia because he does a lot of things that are, which is why he's in assisted living. And it's one of the reasons why he's in assisted living. And but he also has Parkinson's and everything. So I mean, the dementia is undiagnosed. He just does things that point to it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But I saw a shirt the other day, and I thought of him when I saw it, of this lady that has Parkinson's.
Yeah.
And the shirt pretty much says, "I'm not clumsy. My body just hates me." And I was just like, okay, that would probably give him, that'd probably make him feel good, because he's always like angry at his hands, like,
They're shaking a lot.
yeah,
and stuff. Yeah.
And everything. So I wonder if he'd get a kick out of that. If I could find the shirt again, because it's on Facebook, but I can't. I should have screenshot it.
Yeah.
But he used to get like really mad at people, like, because they would like ask, like, why are you shaking so much? And he'd get mad, like, well, did you tell them you had Parkinson's? He's like, no. I go, well, then how would they know?
People shouldn't ask. People see somebody with their hand shaking, like.
Well, the thing is like,
it's rude.
Yeah. Well, these are typically people are, but but he'd get all mad, because they'd be, well, they know him and they're like they're friendly, but they just don't know the stupidity of it all, and but he'd get all mad, like he wasn't getting mad that they said anything, he was getting mad that they didn't know. Well, I'm like, well, how are they supposed to, like, they don't know that you have a condition. You're not, if they don't know, then you can't get mad at them for being jerks, at least not in that particular way,
Yeah.
So later on I went to them, I said, you do know the guy has problems, he has Parkinson's, like I'm sure he told you. And they're like, well, maybe he did, I don't know, I'm like, well, like, dude, think about it before you say something. You totally upset the guy, and but then, like, the next day he's like hugging them and saying hello to them and everything.
Hi, Lewis. We were talking about you earlier.
Yeah, and something tells me Lewis already knows that. And Sandy says, Lewis, do I know you? That's a good question. And he's going to be my guest next week.
Cool.
So, all right. So Amanda. So hey, Amanda. Hi, Thomas and Amanda. Amanda, saying hi to Amanda. Look at that.
Hey, Amanda. I was like, is that my name? I gotta get closer.
I did turn it on at 3:30 late. I had a phone appointment, and now I'm listening while cooking dinner. Thank you.
You're welcome
for being here today and sharing your story, Coach Mandy.
Yeah. So, well, thank you for having me on
no
and allowing me to share that story.
And Lewis is saying that, oh boy, I have to listen on 2 times to catch up. So this is what I think we should do. All right. You and me will start talking very, very slow. So then that way it's still at the right speed.
Okay.
Oh. And Dee says, Lewis, 2 times won't help. LOL. Thank you. What does that mean? And haha, Thomas. Okay. And Carolina Carnivore says, what's Coach Mandy's story? Did I miss it already? Yeah, sort of, kind of. Yeah. Um, sort of, kind of there. Okay, let's
I
take
eat
that out.
meat. I just eat meat
That's the story.
and
Isn't
chicken.
that the story from all of us? I eat meat.
I am the meat.
Okay, I just got a text from my little brother that his wedding ring was strangling his finger. He went to the fire department and they snipped it off for free. FYI, if you need a ring cut off without buying snips. Okay. Um,
Terrifying.
it's I that would scare me. Hey, Ivy, how you doing? That would actually. Oh, and here is Paul. There is likely a nurse at his facility. They likely have his medical records. They probably know him very well. I'm thinking that he's talking about my roommate.
Yeah.
Yeah, the facility knows everything. Unfortunately, the people that I'm talking about were people that worked at the pizza
Close
place.
friends, right?
They were not doctors or yeah.
Just as close as friends.
Yeah. They weren't even friends, but there were people that worked at the pizza place, and one of the things he used to do, which I thought was weird, in my opinion, is he used to go every night to the pizza place and hang, even if it was really busy. Like there, to me, there's a certain etiquette that that you don't, if there's a business and they're busy and they need the tables and stuff like that, you don't sit at a table and occupy that table. It's like you're not the Don.
Yeah.
And he would do that a lot, but
So,
they would be
but
afraid to say anything to him.
was that part of his routine? Sorry, Thomas.
Oh yeah, it
Part of
was.
his routine. So yeah, he's trying to hang on to every vestige of normality. Yeah, that's why he was doing that.
Yeah.
Mm.
And they just, and he would just, I mean, he didn't harm anybody. He would just sit and he would just watch people come in and stuff like that. But it did kind of prevent people from sitting.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I mean, he's a sweet guy. He really is. I don't know if he's watching or not. Probably not. He finally after a while like became like friends with me on Facebook, but
Yeah.
you know, um, it's not easy for him because it's not like he can do YouTube on the TV in the rehab in the place.
Oh, he doesn't have a cell phone.
Yeah, so he just has his phone, and
Yeah.
I actually helped him out a little bit still with that. He actually paid, instead of him doing his own phone bill, I have him on my phone bill,
Oh,
which I don't have to do, but 'cause we're not related. There's nothing going on.
yeah.
But he just pays me $30 a month so he can stay on my phone bill rather than spending $100 and something a month for his own. So
That's very kind of you.
you know and to tell you the truth, if he ever stopped, I'd be okay. Like I'd be like, okay, like if he stopped paying me, I probably would still keep him on there until somebody said something to me. So okay, so Terry Girl is asking, where do you live?
Me? I just live outside Dallas in Forney. That's in Texas.
Oh, okay.
And I can't wait. On the third, no, not the third, the 4th of August, I'm going to go to the viewing of Healing Humanity in Grand Prairie, which is an hour from me. So I'm going to see that and hopefully meet some fellow carnivores from the area. And I know on the website, on the KILTZ website, there are people around Texas, Dallas, but I haven't reached out to anybody yet. So, but that'd be nice. See if we can do some meetups or something here.
Okay, so Sharon Steadfast is saying I'm. Now she does say something after that, but I'm going to say like, okay, so I guess we're just supposed to finish the sentence for her.
I'm a meat eater.
I'm a meat eater. I'm here. Don't you see me? No, she finishes off, I'm
Oh,
late.
wait.
Hi
Oh, we're
all,
going
hi
to call you
Brian,
out.
you are fast. Okay. And then, let's see, I know I marked. And we also have Mist Above. Terry Girl, that's a shame. I wonder if he had just ate meat only for 7 days. That ring might have slipped off. That's true. Or if he, yeah, I don't know really how to respond to that, but
I don't
it's,
think you have 7 days in total, really, when your finger is swollen up like that.
yeah, yeah. And how horrible is that? Where your ring gets arms and starts strangling your finger. Like, can you imagine that picture? Like the art, like, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
bad joke, but
It's
I just love the term. Like, I just love the term that was used. Like, it starts strangling, like as if it like kind of
like suddenly it shrunk on there. Now I have nightmares. Taking my
uh,
clothes off.
hello neighbor, I'm too down close to
Hey.
Austin.
Okay. All right.
I'm sure it wasn't saying down close. I'm sure it was saying something else, but that's fine. All right, let me unstar these two. Excellent. All right, so we got quite a few people in here. We got 31 people in here so far.
Yay.
And we actually had 2 visitors. We had Dinosaur in Instagram, and we also had, which I'm not sure what her real name is. And then we had B, I think, Girl Gone Carnivore is also in on Instagram. And if you ladies are still there on Instagram, just listening, you're more than welcome to come here on YouTube as well, either way, or just stay where you're at. Girl Gone Carnivore is supposed to be on my channel in a few weeks. So
Nice. She was on KILTZ not too long ago.
oh yeah, well it's actually how I saw her. I saw her,
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
like I might as well just ask her if she wants to come on, because what's the worst that'll happen? They say no. I'm beginning to get immune to the no. Like
Oh, people say no?
people do. Yeah.
Do they? Okay.
Yeah. I get a pretty good response of people saying yes. I'm not. I'm pretty grateful, but there are still a few, and I just love the excuses that they come up with.
Oh.
Because there's one excuse that I love that perplexes me, and that is because they look at, I tell them the time that like I am, how far out it is. And oh, this is a good name. Sorry about that. I just got interrupted. Cheeseburger Eddie.
I love it.
What?
They're my favorite cheeseburgers.
And do you do carnivore buns or do you do regular buns? Cheeseburger or no buns at all? Tell us a little bit about yourself. What is the name of the diet this lady is on now?
Am I the lady?
I'm going. I hope so, because I would be an ugly woman. I'm sorry.
What is the name of the diet? Just eat meat. Animal products. Carnivore.
Yep. Yeah, I made some. I did have a little bit to eat today. I had my carnivore pancakes, but that was about it.
How do you make those?
Me personally, I just take some eggs. I've done videos on them. I take some eggs, 3 eggs. I take some baking powder, and then I take whole powdered milk, and not that skim crap.
Yeah.
And then I just 1.5 cups, and I mix it together, and then I put it on I don't have a waffle iron, but for some reason I ordered a waffle iron from Walmart, and they sent me a griddle cake.
Oh,
So instead of having chaffles, I have chan cakes.
change.
And and I just put it on there, and you can make a bun. I've done my hardtack burgers with them, and and if you put them if you put like dollops on, like, if you take like a cast iron skillet,
Yeah.
and you take some parchment paper, and you put a dollop of it onto the parchment paper and then put it in the oven at like 350, 375 for about 20 minutes. It comes out like brioche buns.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. So and I also made pizza crust out of it too.
Oh,
So
look.
it's very versatile. It's very
I
versatile.
use the heavy cream powder. And
That would probably work too. That'd probably work even better. That probably would.
You know what I did? I dropped a whole bowl of eggs. I was cleaning my fridge and I dropped a whole bowl of eggs. And so I grabbed all the yolks up and I thought, what am I going to do? And there was about 24 yolks, 24 yolks.
Yes.
So I thought, okay, bake these quickly. And I just put in 2 tablespoons and all those eggs and 2 tablespoons of the heavy whipping cream powder, some salt, some seasonings, some mature cheddar and bacon, and I made the most delicious egg bites. They were amazing. I cook always in Ninja Foodies air fryers or pressure cookers or things like that, and I have 3 of them, and they were delicious. So if you break eggs, there's a recipe for you. Yeah. You're welcome.
Paul's saying about powdered milk being pretty carby. Yeah, but I think it's still pretty okay to have.
That's why I use that.
Doing it every day, especially if you're not doing it every day. The funny thing is when I was going through the store looking for it, because I was doing it for some videos that were being done, and I was looking for this powdered milk and everything like that. And I'm like, okay. So I was asking everybody in ShopRite, I'm like, where can I find whole powdered milk? And they point me to the skim milk, because it had to be powdered for what I was doing, and they're putting me to skim milk. I'm like, I don't want freaking skim milk. Stop giving me skim milk. They're like, well, it's fat free. I'm like, I don't want to be fat free. I love my fat. Don't leave it alone.
They thought they were doing you a favor.
And I'm sure they did, but I still had to call them idiots. No, but no. So I finally found it. Some guy was like, "Well, yeah, it was in the baby aisle." So I had to go into the baby aisle to get whole milk, powdered milk.
Well, I'm surprised it was in a grocery store.
Yeah.
But that makes you think, yeah, they okay.
Yeah. I mean, how many people remember the Snackwells, the low fat, everything had to be low fat. Everything had to be low fat, So Cheeseburger, was saying that, yeah, he's on the same kind of diet, and he mentions also that he eats eggs. I eat eggs too. And Coach Angela Mullins, I would love to visit Texas. The last time I was in Arkansas, I thought about driving over, but I was getting ready to come home and would have been over an hour drive in the opposite direction. Yeah.
Well, come one day, Angela. Huh?
We all have our reasons, right?
Yeah. Where's Angela now? Where does Angela live now?
I don't remember. Hey, Isabel, how you doing? Angela, if you could put in the chats where you live. I can't remember everybody where they live. Rick is probably the only one I really know, because he always saying that he's from Virginia. Okay. Oh, I should know that, because I lived in Richlands, Virginia for from 4 to 7.
Okay.
And then I'm trying to get to something that Rick said that goes with something that. Well, Rick says that he remembers the Snackwell commercials, and then Sharon goes, "Consider yourself fortunate, Rick, that you only saw the commercials. I ate them."
Ew.
Yeah, you know what? That's true, Sharon. But to tell you the truth, okay, they weren't that bad tasting. It's just because they have to make them good.
Mm.
If they made them taste like crap, no one would want them. So they had to, they allured us with, oh my God, it's low fat, let's try it, and then they made them taste good. So then you're addicted to have more and more. I mean, it's just the way they do things.
Mm.
It's the trap of the trap. Okay, so all right, so let's see. Oh, we're doing pretty good. And oh, that's pretty in. Stockwell's 100 calories per bag. And we have Vicky here asking, anyone live in Arkansas? Um, I'm sure there's people who live in Arkansas. Whether they're here or not is a different story, but I'm sure there's people who live in Arkansas. It's a pretty big state there, Vicky. And Jonathan, I think, left, but he's back showing his muscle and his championship trophy.
Oh wow! Congrats! Is that real?
Well, no, that's
Oh,
an emoji, but
yeah. Did he win a trophy?
I believe yeah, you won.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I mean, he deserves it. He
Mm.
deserves it. I
I
mean,
like.
have you ever seen Jonathan? He's
No.
ripped.
Oh
Oh
really?
my God. Yeah.
Can we put a picture of Jonathan on the screen?
I don't have, yeah, not right. I left my keys in my room and I don't feel like getting no offense. And believe it or not, my keys have my flash drive on them.
Oh right. Okay.
That
Yeah.
that allows me to, because if I actually kept all the pictures and everything on
Yeah.
the computer, my computer would be crashing all the time.
Oh.
So I take any videos I have, any pictures I have of anything, and well, you know what? Actually, let me see. That's not entirely true. Just give me a couple seconds. Um,
It's all coming back to him.
okay. Meanwhile, we're all quiet. Let's see. I'm sure he'll show. Fine. I'm sure he did short, right? All right. So, Jonathan, if you don't mind, I'm going to. Not yet, not yet, not yet. Let's not be impetuous here. Okay. So, um, and we're going to share the screen. I'm going to show a video that Jonathan just did. So, okay, share, but we're going to make it bigger so it has more pizzazz. And all right, there it is. Okay, and Jonathan, I'm going to play it if you don't mind to give you a little bit of recognition. All right.
Hey guys, hope all is well. Odd enough, not the outcome I expected today, but we brought our best to stage. So I've got my medal here. But what I did get was not just a medal.
Woo!
It's the universe title. And the first mixed disability professional bodybuilder.
Simplest part of this story of carnivore.
Just eat meat.
Just eat meat.
That was excellent. Where's Jonathan from? He got an accent.
He's from yeah, he's from Ireland, I think. Give me 2 seconds. My roommate just texted me asking if I'm busy. I'm like, well, I'm doing a live. I don't.
Tell him, come on over.
I'm on the computer. What are you doing? Why do you want to know if I'm busy? Like I don't even work for you guys. Like, and of course, Jonathan says that Rick is a standout celebrity. If you don't know me, you definitely should know Rick.
Yeah, we know.
Actually, Jonathan, I think that we should know both of you.
Yeah. Sorry, Jonathan. I'm just meeting you today.
And you know what? And Jonathan, if you're here, if Mandy's able to go, if you're on my channel, which I'm sure you are, just type in prime rib, all one word, all lowercase, and your channel will come up. And Mandy, if she wants to, she can actually click on it and subscribe to your channel. So, and that goes for any one of you. Just put in the word prime rib and your channel will pop up.
Where do we type that into?
On my channel, like
on your channel right there. Okay.
Yeah, it's part of a Nightbot thing. So you could do it too. Oh, he's from England. I'm Jonathan from England.
I was thinking he sounded like a Londoner.
Okay, so I just have to take care of something really quickly, if that's okay. So I'll be right back.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the show.
I have the show? Oh my gosh. Well, I have to say, I'm really impressed that we're lasting well over this time, because I was afraid we weren't going to get through the hour. And we're well over the hour. I don't know if how much we're all into fitness here, but I am intrigued by this woman, Joan McDonald Fitness. She's 80 years old and she puts me to shame. I don't know if you see what she's doing. For the last, I think it's 10 years, her daughter decided to help her get a handle on her life, and she just started taking her to the gym and showing her how to lift and how to get fit. And she's rocking Instagram right now. I'm determined I'm going to the gym today. I guess we won't see any questions coming up until Thomas gets back. And I can't see that print. It's too small. So I'm really excited to go to the launch, I guess, that with the one viewing that we'll have in Dallas of Healing Humanity.
So there you are. I am back.
Thank God.
Oh, hold on. Sorry, I muted the phone, so then that way, Yeah, no. Hopefully there's nobody from her job on here. That'd be really weird if that was the case. But she's working. She pretty much is working from 6 a.m. She was scheduled from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. and she's been working really hard. And like 48-hour shifts basically, and 24-hour foot, and like within 2 days in a row. So So she was just asking me if I could like just give a quick call and just give a reason for her to be able to cut out of work. So she's going to tell them that her cat ran away.
You can get off work if your cat runs away.
I don't know. We'll find out. But no, she's a very nice young lady, and anything I can do help. And if I end up getting her fired because, like I work for this company, I know exactly who that is. Which is funny because I didn't say who the company was, so
No, you haven't named and shamed anybody.
And I didn't say her name either, so it's like, you'd have to be an amazing Kreskin to know exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, I before I stepped out for a second, and I was here the whole time. I noticed that you had mentioned about being amazed that you are over the hour.
Yes.
And, it doesn't amaze me. I mean, one, you did say that you're a talker.
Yes.
So like right now, Gary's watching, and Gary knows Sloan. He's like, yeah, put your money where your mouth is. Like let's. Because it's funny, like when I interviewed Gary, it was funny. Like he went to me just like everybody else. Oh, and now I remember what I was going to talk about before I interrupted myself.
You have to finish the story.
Yeah, I know, but then people ask me questions. So Yellow Rose is asking, Talking Prime Rib, has she got her own channel? I'm going to assume she's talking about you. I think you do, right? I think I put in the description.
I have a YouTube channel. Now I haven't done any. I thought I was going to really hit the ground running with it when I took a break from work, when they get off on school holidays. And I have just been so busy. I've been so busy. So my YouTube channel is Amanda Malone, Coach Mandy at Coachmandyeatmeat.
Okay. So are you watching my YouTube or no?
Am I watching your YouTube right now?
Yeah. Or are you just on StreamYard?
StreamYard.
Okay. I was going to say, if you're watching my YouTube, then you could just put on Prime Rib, and it would bring your channel right up.
Okay. So I was afraid to do.
And yes, I do have it posted.
Okay. Awesome.
You're absolutely right. Okay. So what was I interrupt myself again? I've been doing that a lot today. Interrupting myself. Oh well.
For the sake of the questions. It's for the sake of the questions.
Yes, it is.
It's an honorable deed. Yeah.
It is. But people are probably like, "What's he gonna say? Oh my God!"
Finish your story.
Stella! No, I remember part of it. So one of the things that I was going to mention, when people because we're talking about how people say no to being on the channel and everything, and the main excuse I get is, well, you're so like say it's June, right? And I have a thing for December. I have things out until November, which is not true. I only have things out until October. So come on. But
October, November.
They'll be like, well, that's so far out. I don't know what I'm going to be doing that time. So when we get closer, then we'll see. And this is the kicker. People don't realize is this. I'm going to be asking more than just you.
Yeah.
You're not the only person I'm asking. It's not like I'm asking you on a date or asking you to go to the movies.
Mm-hmm.
This is to set an appointment to come on my show. So I'm asking, that same day that I asked one person, I'm asking at least 20 more people.
Wow.
Right? So if you wait until October to see if you can get an appointment in October, I am now booked until like February.
Yeah. I was really surprised when you
Yeah.
asked me and then you gave me the date. I'm like, wow, I could be dead. You have to interview me now. I don't want you. No, but it's impressive.
Now.
Yeah, it's now or never. But yeah, no. So, but that's great. Is I was like, that guy is organized. He's got a calendar. He does. I mean, he's serious about this. This is amazing.
You kind of have to be sometimes, you
Yes.
know.
Are there that many carnivores? You're going to have to reach out to the moon now.
And thank you for that. I'm very close, Rick. I have 820 subscribers now, so I am close to getting that goal. So thank you for that, Rick. I appreciate that. And I would say, like, well, you guys could subscribe, but then you would have to unsubscribe, and that would bring my count down, and then resubscribe. So that'd be kind of weird because you can't subscribe twice unless you're Amy and you have like 5 different accounts. Yeah. All right. So Terry girl, Mandy, how long have you lived in Texas, and how long have you been here from Ireland?
9.5 long years.
I like how you drag that on. Fine. But you know why? Because in that way, when Lewis does his speed test,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
It's got Ferris Bueller 9 times.
we got the mighty Miniwa here, and you know, I was thinking about this, Miniwa. I'm going to give you a request. All right, Miniwa is going to be a returning champion on my show, on my channel. She's going to be another one that's returning to tell her story, and she has an amazing story, amazing update. If you didn't watch her on my channel the first time, and you didn't watch her on Amy with Amy Davis, go watch that. You know,
Coach.
and catch up and everything. But now that you change, because you used to be just Miniwa, now that you change it to Mighty Miniwa, I expect you to be wearing a cape when you come on my channel.
And ears.
Well, I'm sure she has ears. You know?
No, Minnie Mouse ears.
Minnie Mouse. Oh, because Mighty Mouse.
Yes. Mighty Minnie.
Here I come to save the day. I used to love Mighty Mouse. I used to have a bag that my mom had, and I had it for the longest time. I don't know. Oh, I know it's on like a memorial for my mom. So, yeah. Oh, sorry. And maybe in the background play here. You know what? Maybe I will. You know, speaking of music backgrounds, I got, you know, I was told by YouTube, I'm like, I'm not going to get monetized and make any money off the last video I did. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, I don't get monetized anyway, so what the hell do I care? You know, like, but I'm like, at least people got to see the video. But when I was like dancing on the shake plate, dancing, I should say, because I'm not able to dance that much anymore. But when I was like grooving to the music, I thought to myself, like, well, these people need to hear what I'm listening to, you know? And I don't really understand why there's like, I understand copyright rules, but I'm not copying the song. I'm playing it to project inspiration, you know? And if I was an artist, a music artist, I would think that I would want that, because like if my viewers are hearing that song and they're like, well, that's my favorite song, and they start thinking like, I'm going to play that song, and you know, hopefully that will produce people to do, you know. And I just don't understand, like you get banned if you play that person's song, because, well, then fine, you know, like, why don't you pay me and give them a percentage of what you're paying me? You know, like there, let's solve that problem, you know. So I don't know. Oh my God, you have no ears, Miniwa. Okay, that's what Sandy just told Miniwa. So Miniwa has no ears. It's okay. Yep, the big music cartel controls it all. Yep, I agree. but it went through anyway. People still heard it. They still loved it. And then the next day I got sick.
Oh.
It's always the way. It's like you're really that's one thing I notice about carnivore. It's like, at least for me, it's like you have this one day of like super energy, and you can go for like a 3-mile walk, or you can, or you're able to like, I mean, the other day I actually went around the track and I skipped sitting on the benches, which usually I have to sit down in between. And I just like bypassed. I went 1 mile around the track. And I'll be honest with you, I actually started having so much energy that if it wasn't for my balance issues, I would have run.
Okay.
I would have been running.
Yeah.
But my balance is so bad, I also would have been falling on my face.
Oh.
So because I just had that much energy. I just walked, and but
So can you channel that energy, say
I
lifting?
wish I could. Like,
No.
wait, what?
Lifting weights?
Well, I probably could, I did I actually did 2 times on the shake plate. That was actually when you guys the time you guys saw me, when you got if you I don't know if you saw the video or not, but when you guys saw me on the video, that was actually my second round.
Oh, okay.
So that was actually minute 16 to 30. That wasn't my first 15 minutes. So like, because I pretty much went on the shake plate, and then I had some, and as much as I hate to say, the only thing I had yesterday was some slow cooked lamb breast.
Ooh.
And it was really good, but it was about 2 pounds worth. And I split it between 3. I actually had 3 meals yesterday, and I split it 3 meals. But that, and I had some butter coffee. Other than that, I didn't. Oh, and some seltzer, but you can't, like seltzer. Other than that, though, and the next day I woke up like really, like my throat was really bad. Yeah, the hiking poles. I know they're helping you, Paul. I think I had like acid reflux or something like that was coming. So and that's why I called out of work today, because I was throwing up. I was, little disclaimer, carnivore disclaimer, wouldn't be carnivore if we didn't talk about poop. I was pretty much using every 5 minutes I was going to the bathroom.
Oh no.
And yeah. So I just.
So have you histamine issues?
I don't know. I'm not even really sure what histamine is.
It's if the meat has sat, if it's not as fresh as possible, it gives, because I can't give my husband leftovers. He won't eat lamb. And of course, being from Ireland, lamb was a staple for me, but it's a little bit gamey here in comparison to what I'm used to.
Right.
But if I give him leftover, if I do, as I say, I use the air fryer for everything. So I'll cut up a prime rib and slow cook it in the foodie, but then I give it to him a day later. He is on the toilet. Yeah. Terrible.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's actually a pretty good observation, a pretty good question, because I mean, obviously going throughout the whole day, obviously it's like I put it in the refrigerator, but obviously it was still it wasn't fresh. And most of the time when I eat my meat, usually I finish it in one shot. That was just a lot. Like if I make
it's pretty rich meat though as well. Lamb is very rich.
Right. Yeah. But no, that's like when I have my burgers, I eat, like if I cook the 2 or 3 burgers, and I have them in that one sitting. The only time I don't is if I have like burger cookies or something like that.
Yeah.
but that's probably done a little differently. It's cold and everything like that, not reheated and stuff. So,
yeah, with him, I can't give him leftover. Chicken is okay, but there's something about beef. Pork, I generally, I'm just cooking a pork chop and he'll just eat that. But I find if I give him leftover beef, he's down with that. Yeah.
and and Dee says that she can't cook lamb correctly.
How do you cook it?
I cooked it in the slow cooker.
Mm.
I actually let it cook overnight. I put it on low,
Yeah.
low and slow for 12
Mhm.
hours.
I
And
thought it was delicious.
it was. The only thing I didn't really like, believe it or not, I didn't like the fat on this particular one.
Okay.
Because it was like, I don't know. It tasted very like mushy.
Okay.
So the fat wasn't really my favorite. The meat was. It's funny too, like when you think of chicken breast, you see white meat, right?
Yeah.
But when you look at lamb breast, it's darker than the actual lamb. If you think about it, it's
Yeah.
like super
Yeah.
dark. It's like has like a reddish darkness to it. Um, so yeah,
I
but
don't know if I've ever had lamb breast. We'd always have a leg of lamb or a shoulder or the cutlets.
yeah. So I did that, and then lucky I did that because today, like I said, I had a couple pieces, I had a couple things of the carnivore chan cakes, with lots of butter, um, and I had lamb bone broth.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
because I figure if I'm not able to go to work, I need to get this cold out of here, whatever this is. I've been gone back and forth all the time.
Mm.
And you go to the doctor, I've had blood work done. I've had, like I have a pain on my side. I've been having it for a few years, at this point. And they're just like, they keep on looking. They're like, well, like it's not a gallbladder, so it's not that. And I'm like, thinking like, okay, well, if it's not the gallbladder, it has to be something.
Mm.
So maybe instead of stopping your search, maybe you should look for something else. So one of my riblets, um, suggested maybe it could be fatty liver, and I'm like, well, it's possible. I am diabetic, and I mean that is kind of like very big with diabetes, right? So, but I have to yet ask my doctor. Now, when I asked my doctor if I could have a C-peptide test, she's like, no.
What
Which
about your own labs? Can you
Well, that's
get?
what I'm going to do when I get a chance. Now, I already had the test done in December, so I'm going to wait just a little bit because um, one of the things I noticed is, well, not one of the things I noticed. It's not a noticing thing. It's more of a, yeah, actually, you know what? I think I know who. I think it was Sharon, Steadfast, that actually said, like, what's the point of really getting a C-peptide test anyway when you still have insulin? Because the whole point of it is to see what your fasting insulin is. So I'm figuring like, okay, I'm going to try to get myself on lower insulin, get myself to a certain point, and then I will test my C-peptides at that time. So I'm not, maybe it was like kind of like in our favor, but I'm going to do it myself, do this, but I also think too, I want to test out and see if there's a test I can do for the liver, and just do that
Yeah.
myself too. I mean, the doctor seems nice, but at the same time, you can tell that she's controlled by, um,
Insurance?
yeah,
Is she
to say the least.
just so she's saying no to the test that you as the patient are requesting?
Right.
What's her reasons? Like, are we?
Because I'm already diabetic, so what's the point in taking that test? And it's the answer that all doctors have.
Yeah.
It's pretty much like they're You're already diabetic. Why do you need to test it? Well, maybe I want to see. Maybe I want to see if there's still hope.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, like, what would it hurt for you to test this? Like, it's not. It's you're not the one doing the work. You're just prescribing it. You know, but some doctors are just like that. You know. Okay, so Steadfast goes a little bit more into it. So opposite, you can see peptide. Insulin tests can't differentiate natural versus exogenous, but you can have a but you have a plan. Okay. Thank you for the compliment there, Sharon. I'll take it as a compliment. So even if it wasn't a compliment, I took it as a compliment. Sandy's asking about testosterone. All right, that she tested. Because she looked at me and she said, "Okay, you're desperate. You need to check your testosterone." No, I was kidding. It was what? It was 287. So my testosterone is low. So my thought on the testosterone was pretty much true. But I wasn't looking for it to do any cure all. I was looking at it just to see where I'm at, so then we can see where I need to go.
Are you taking supplements?
I take the D3, and that was low too. My D vitamin intake was a 13 when I first started. Now it's at 20.
Okay.
So, but I think it was 13 because it was in the winter. The track was actually closed off, so I had no place to go that had sunlight to it, except for the parking lot. But the parking lot's all shaded, basically. So park has a lot more sun inside it, and yeah. So but I think it explains like why I get weak, why I get like like all these issues, and North Dakota carnivore. See, now they're coming out of the woodwork. So
Yeah.
C peptide tells you how much insulin is being made by your body. Doesn't matter if you take exogenous insulin. C peptide is important to know for diabetes. Yeah, and just to clarify, she didn't just refuse the C peptide. She also refused the fasting insulin. Because something tells me she associates, like the only thing, she's like, yeah, the only thing I'm going to test is your A1C. That's all we need to test. So maybe some doctors put them together, like they kind of give a picture, but they're not, if you think about it, they're not really the same thing, And Minua is C-peptides is to see how much insulin you are making on your own. Fasting insulin cannot tell the difference between insulin you inject or what you make on your own. So this is my thought process on it. If a doctor doesn't want to do a test, whatever. Because last time I checked, as long as we're willing to be patient, and as long as we know our resources, which we do because of the community, okay?
Yeah.
We can test it ourselves. I remember my roommate that I just talked about, my former roommate that I just talked about before. He one time goes to me and he says, and it's funny, I've told people this. I forget what the conversation was, but his response to me was, I listen to my doctor. And I think a lot of times, like, doctors think like, okay, they can refuse testing and do this, and we'll just be like, okay, that's what he says. He doesn't want us to do it, and I won't do it because the doctor doesn't want me to do it. Well, that's not the truth with carnivore.
No.
If you say no, we'll find a way.
Yeah. What if you went back and told her that you want to have a record for yourself to see where your numbers are going from year to year, that you just want to have it for your own information? You'd like that?
I mean, it's possible, but I have a feeling she's the type of person that she's a young, no offense, but she's a young woman that's stubborn, and they can be, just like young men can be too, but she like worked, and from what I'm hearing, her father is also part of the practice. So she's probably trying to show off her father, and she's probably, like there's probably like all these personal things. But you know what? I had C-peptide done last time at Quest on diagnostics. So I'm just going to do that again.
Okay.
I know it's making a little bit,
Interesting.
1.56 or something the last time. So, which I think I think that's pretty much indicating that I can make a little insulin, I think.
Yeah.
But
you are injecting insulin right now?
I have, I still have to do the insulin.
Yeah.
But it's a lot. It's getting less and less. And when I do my fasting, obviously I don't do as much.
Yeah.
So, there's times when I'm fasting and the sugars are so low that I don't do it at all. So,
wow. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just, if you've asked for something, why not give it to?
It's very, very discoordinated, very perplexing. I totally agree. But I'm at that point now where it's like, I'm not going to argue with you, because, I mean, she was also trying to, she's like, well, you need statins. So because you're diabetic. And I'm like, so I actually said, the one thing I said, well, I found out that, she actually said this. So that when you find out the person's like, I said to her, I said, well, I heard that statins can actually help perpetuate insulin resistance. And she goes, yeah, but you're already insulin resistant, so it doesn't matter. And I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, so your logic is that since I'm already insulin resistant, what's the point in caring about whether I get more insulin resistant?
It's like she's like Dr. Doom, like they're already headed down that road. See ya.
I mean, to tell you the truth, okay, I'm going to say she's nice because of the concept that I want to be a nice guy. But, and I doubt she's watching this because I obviously she's not carnivore. But I think, well, the one thing I think I'm going to do for the next time I visit her, I think I'm going to wear my steak keeps the doctor away shirt. But or one of the shirts that Gary gave me. That way she's really confused. Like I'll wear my Coca-Cola carnivore coat shirt. And or whatever. Or even better, I'll if it's during the winter, I'll wear my Booby Goat sweatshirt.
Wear that.
Or one of my shirts. Why am I wearing
or just keep whipping them off, have them all on. I'm going to grab my charger. Oh. Is it there? No, that's not the one. I've got to grab a charger. It's going to die. It's not that one. It is that one. Let me see. Oh, wait, that's there. I was not keeping an eye on that.
Excuse me.
Yeah, whip off all those, wear them all, and then just keep, whipping one off at a time. That would be hilarious.
Or not even just whipping them off, just like bring like a clothing rack like you get like at like fashion models, and just bring all these like fashion, like all nice and pressed and everything like that. There's more than one of us. So, and Dee says, haha, Aaron would love that. Okay. So, so I mean, I just, I have a lot of issues with depression and stuff like that. I get like my mind gets into a certain way. But the one thing that I think carnivore did help me with is, you know what, I'm not going to bother with certain people. And,
Mm.
you know, and obviously, like, okay, so to finish what she said was, you know, so we're doing the sentence, and she said about that, and she's like, oh, well, you know, you're already diabetic, you're already insulin resistant, so it doesn't really matter, you know, just,
Mm-mm.
and she's trying to argue with me, and I'm just like looking at her, I'm like, you're not going to get me to take statins, so don't even try, you
Mm.
know. I don't believe in them. I think that I think they make you worse than they actually make you better.
Yeah.
And you know, I just don't agree with it. Now, to that being said, the only reason why I have her is because the insurance says I have to in order to be able to get some tests that she does approve without, you know,
Mm.
having insurance take care of it. I have to have a doctor. Now, does that mean that I'm not going to look for a new doctor eventually? It's just right now I don't have the patience and time. I have little things on my mind, and the fact that I have a doctor now
Yeah.
is enough, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so let's see that I start some things.
We have on Adapt Your Life Academy, we have a list of doctors that are approve of keto, approve of carnivore. But sometimes people can still go to them and they, you know, they've put on there, we will, you know, take patients, but they're not really carnivore savvy, not really keto savvy at all. So for you to make that change, you know, with the expectation that you'll meet a doctor, because really it's very rare that a doctor is on board with this, which is so sad and so frustrating, and they are so brainwashed. It's not even, it's just not funny now at this stage of the game. When I could put into Gemini, I was you know, looking to make some kind of a presentation for last night, and I put in about sugar addiction. I fed it a little bit of that, and I asked it, what diet would you approve for somebody who is heavily addicted to sugar? And immediately it came back LC, HF, low carb, high fat. Gemini knows. How can these
Yeah.
highly educated people not know? And you know, I know there's no sense in talking about common sense, you know, when you've invested so much into an education. But the latest science is proven beyond a doubt how beneficial this medicine is, food, this meat is.
Yeah.
Mm,
That's, I mean, yeah. Uh, I'm at a loss for words, but yeah, you're absolutely
yeah.
right. Um,
No,
so now,
Gemini's
what can we gain from pursuing your YouTube channel? So what do you offer on your
from
channel?
perusing. You get me. You get me, Mr. Muscle.
Yeah, like isn't that with all of us, Jonathan? Like,
This Irish accent. And I'll try to London, baby.
all right. So, Cheeseburger Eddie says, Carnivore Muscle, you look great. How long have you been doing it? Do you take any supplements? So, Jonathan, in the chats, answer Eddie if you haven't done so already. Okay. And Brian asks, it was fun, Thomas. Thank you for asking me. Brian was also on my show, and that was actually a pretty good show. Oh, excuse me. Let's see if there's any. And then Erin's saying she doesn't excellent Austin Powers accent.
Thank you, booby goats.
Do you do an excellent Austin Powers
That's
accent?
what I was doing.
Let's hear it.
Hey.
Hey, baby. You probably do it better. Hey,
Thank you.
baby.
Oh, behave.
Oh, behave. Yeah. Now, there's only one person that does it better, and that would be Mike Myers. But you know, that's a whole.
Yeah. You know why that is, don't you?
because Mike Myers is the actor that portrays.
No, he's really Shrek. He's really Shrek.
Yes. And then I don't know why Brian's asking this, but Thomas, has anyone said anything about your shite?
Shirt.
That's not what it says.
Although we did talk about that earlier, very briefly.
I did, because it's carnivore, so you know. Not that I saw.
It's a pungent aroma.
Right. not that I saw. Well, you know what it is Gary probably didn't say anything about the shirt because his Coca-Cola shirt's like kind of like it's popular, but it's like, okay, I've already made like 50 other ones after that one, so it's kind of taking a back seat now. No, but I love Gary's shirts. I really do.
Oh, there's another one.
And Jonathan says, shake plates are contradicted for my condition. It will literally make my spine corrode. Yeah, Gary, Jonathan, please do not use the shake plate. And then Jonathan also says, I've been doing this crap for years and years and years and years. So I'm confused. Have you been doing it for a long time, Jonathan? The carnivore community have all this cortisol fear mongering over testing, fat obsession, and it's destroying people. Yes, I agree. So let's see if there's any new stuff. That was the last thing I had marked. Doesn't mean there's nothing in there. It just means that that's the one thing I had marked. Yeah, this is last thing. We're at 2 hours and 6 minutes.
No way. I can't believe that.
And we can keep on going if you want to. It's up to you. But we leave the questions.
It's your show.
Well, if I'm not, unless I was actually doing something, my shirt is starting to go up a little bit because of all this excitement. But yeah, you gave me something to think about. Maybe I should with the lamb. You gave me, because that is the one thing. Because I'm thinking to myself, why would lamb do this to me? But if I do have histamine issues, that could be why I had, I don't know what happens when you react to histamine, but
so most people that have histamine issues, they would cook their meat from frozen.
Right, and that's what I usually do.
Yeah. So with the lamb, did you? Because you ate it all in the one day, right? You cooked it overnight.
Yeah, but I also defrosted it too.
Oh, okay.
So
could be that.
Yeah. So it's very possible it could be that, because normally when I have my steak and have my burgers and even the chicken, because I put it in the air fryer, and I just put it in a little longer because obviously I want to make sure that the chicken is fully cooked.
Yeah.
What I've been doing with my chicken is this: I put it in the air fryer for about 50 minutes. Then I take it and I have a deep fryer of beef tallow, like a deep, like a fry daddy.
Licking my lips.
But filled with beef tallow instead of like seed oils,
Yeah.
and vegetable oil. And I let it boil really hard, and I put it in there and I crisp up the skin.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I do that with the chicken quarter. I probably would do it with any chicken. I do it with the chicken quarter, and I do it with my wings.
Yeah.
Late hello, Barry. How you doing?
Hello, Barry.
And that's usually how I do it. And I've done that. I also do the deep fryer too when I make my breaded pork chops with panko.
Nice. Yeah.
Panko pork rind crumbs.
Yeah.
I always think to say panko breadcrumbs, but that doesn't sound good for carnivore.
No.
So it's not breadcrumbs. It's
Yeah.
You got to be careful with people. You can't say, you can't say bread.
Like
and,
porco crumbs.
Are they called porco?
No.
Oh.
But to do that brain mouth connection. Poor Go Crumbs.
The brain muscle. Oh, excuse me. All right, Eddie. I'm sorry. How do you make this kind of chicken again? Put it in the air fryer.
Do that in slow. Put it in.
This is for Lewis. Air fryer. And then take and put it in the deep fryer for about 10-15 minutes.
In the
And it comes out all crispy.
Hello.
And when you have it there, it literally does suck the oil.
Okay.
The good oil.
Yeah.
The good,
Now, I know Dr. KILTZ says it doesn't go moldy, but you didn't put the lamb in that, right? In the beef tallow? Your lamb?
No, that was in its own juice. That was in its own fat. I did have some bone broth I already had, and I put the bone broth in there. So it's a little bit of like from steaks and stuff like that. So I'm heading off before I blow my lid off. LOL. I'll be. Why would Jonathan blow his lid?
Yeah.
Oh, you know why? Because. Okay, never mind. Okay.
No, come on.
No, Jonathan. I mean, I think one thing is like we all believe in different things with carnivore, and you got to do your own story. We find certain things healed us better than other things, and I think we're all different.
Yeah.
And so you got to find your why, and you got to find your how. So I think it's I think I just realized something. I think that's the thing that the one thing that we do. We need the why to get us here. But then we have to discover our how.
Yeah.
How do we have to do carnivore that helps us?
Yeah.
And
it also depends what our circumstances are. Like
exactly.
This time around that I've done carnivore, like on keto, weight just rapidly fell off me, but then my circumstances were completely different. When I went carnivore, I was finding out my husband had all of these health issues. He found himself in such, it was so traumatic for him, and with being autistic, I have all of this stress to deal with, to cope with behaviors and things like that you don't expect from a grown man. But they're, he doesn't mean to be the way that he is, but it impacts me very traumatically. And so I seem to be unable to lose the weight, even for what I'm eating every day. I shouldn't be carrying all this around here, and I am, and I'm dealing with it. But again, circumstances, what works for one person, really, it doesn't automatically mean it's going to work for another, and we're at different milestones, different things going on. And stress and sleep we need sleep as much as we need food, maybe more than we need food sometimes, because we can do the fasting thing as well. But and if sleep is impacted, health is impacted. And that's my biggest issue right now.
So I'm going to mark a few things here. And I know Jonathan left, but
I hope it wasn't anything we said.
Well, Sandy said something. Okay. So, all right. So I'm gonna go to the star now. And Sandy mentions, I think you missed a lot of Jonathan's comments, Thomas. I didn't miss the comments. I can't put everything up. I mean, they weren't really questions. They were just statements. in general, and they were going onto the TV. So, but I will mention, I'll talk about them now. It had nothing to do with anything. I mean, it would have happened to a lot of people. Because we're having a good conversation, so it's not, as much as I love to have the questions and answers, we're not totally a question and answer thing. It's us, you and me, chewing the fat with everybody watching. So it's not one-sided, if that makes any sense. And it's, again, nothing. Jonathan is very helpful, and I'm grateful that he is here. But I can't get every single comment that's out there. I try my best. So, but just before we get to Jonathan, so Heidi Be Merry, which is a cool name because you want to be merry. It's really good for Christmas. Lots of histamine in leftover drippings. I need to freeze any kept drippings, and my histamine tolerance goes way down when I'm oxalate dumping. Okay.
Well, that answers the question that I had popping up into my head. I'm glad you put that on there, Heidi. And Heidi is my favorite story.
Yes.
Really is. I love that story.
And before we go on to Jonathan's things, Steadfast actually says correct. It was that everything's being said was mostly related to the chat. So, and that's the thing too. Like if you guys are talking and you guys are talking amongst each other, I'm not going to post each comment because it might not be related to what we're talking about. Does that make sense? Like if say say I'm like talking about my depression, okay? And I'm on grandma's channel and I mentioned about feeling a little depressed. Well, you might get like Peter coming on and saying, well, Tom, why like maybe you should do this, maybe you should do that. But doesn't mean grandma's going to come over and say, well, yeah, this is what you should do. What I'm trying to say. So it doesn't always go into that direction. So again, it's not that I was ignoring, it's just, but the first thing he says is thinking up. So these are good tips, you know, but thinking optimized men can only gain around 100 to 200 grams of actual muscle tissue per month. You have nothing to worry about. Good on you for staying ahead of the game. So obviously he's talking to somebody else because none of us talked about gaining muscle. At least I don't think you did. I know I didn't.
I did bring up Joan. Who's in her 80s, and I'm so proud of her, and she's my hero, and I want to be more like her. I did bring that.
Of course. And how old was Joan again?
80.
Oh, you just said it. Oh my God, I'm getting the guy brain now.
That's okay.
Okay. So, okay, I am as honest as they come. People don't have to like it, but I speak the truth and have an immaculate track record. I don't know everything, but I'll be damned if anything that comes out is harmful. And that's good to know. And you know what? I think in your case, Jonathan, honesty is the best policy. Just be honest, be yourself, and what comes may come.
I think many of us are in this space, and that's what we appreciate about one another, and we appreciate that from those doctors who are like gods really for it, that have pointed us in the right direction, and thankfully that we have what is it, that the fact that they're doctors, the credibility. Yeah. And I think, and they've obviously put their money where their mouth is. They've been truthful. They've spoken from the hip, and many of us all of us in this space, really, that's what we're here to do. We're trying to promote health, a healthy way of eating, a healthy medicine.
Okay. So I'm just marking some other things too. So the next thing that Jonathan mentions is your appetite will naturally reduce over time, dependent on the mass of your body, assuming ancestral tenets and good recovery habits. Your appetite will remain normal. Yeah, I mean, everything Jonathan's saying is
sound right.
Yeah.
Very
It's
sound.
fine.
Mm.
All right. So next one, you just need to use fat. All right. This he does mention my name. Use fat as a lever to maintain your weight and output. Thomas is eating often 2 to 4 times more fat than me daily, and I'm a bloody athlete. For Christ's sake, it's insane. So I do eat a lot more fat than you do, Jonathan. But I'm not really adding the fat as much. Like I usually just let them do their, like I do add, but I don't know. Yeah, but again, you're hearing so many things like and the thing is like I had to find my own path, basically. Like I get so much advice of you need to eat more fat, you need to eat less fat, you need to do this, you need to do that, and I'm listening to everybody. I'm listening to you, I'm listening to Peter, Papa
Yeah.
Carnivore, I'm listening to the doctors. Everybody has, like that's the only bad thing about carnivores. Everybody has different advices, and you have to find out your how. You got to find out your why, and just run with it. And you might have to do some testing. So that was already asked or mentioned. All right. So if you eat too much fat, you will remain fat and diabetic. Proven beyond dispute. No more of this. My mood is low and I need fat. It's because of chronic obesity. I bet my life on it right now. Okay. That's
Harsh.
I don't know.
Harsh. Harsh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, okay, and just really quickly, plant-based mama. I think I've seen you on with Rick. So, welcome, plant-based mama. I'm guessing you're not carnivore. But welcome. We're happy that you're here, and I don't judge. I don't eat plants as much, but I don't judge. And I won't say as much because I do eat them occasionally, very, very occasionally. But I, just like anybody else, I do, I'm not like, oh my God, So, I don't become. So let's finish off with, because I want to give, and then Jonathan says, I've had enough of this self-sabotage. Stop listening to morons online. Yeah. I mean, again, I don't know if he was talking to me. I don't know if he was talking to somebody else. If he was talking to both of us. I don't know.
But I'm sorry, but if you don't like what we're saying, yeah. But no one's making you wait. No one's making you stay.
And again, I Jonathan's great. I have nothing against him. So Yellow Rose 803 Target Prime Rib question: what made you move over from Ireland, Mandy? Why are you asking me why she moved over from Ireland?
I moved over from Ireland because I married that man.
It's always the man's fault.
Man's fault.
It's the man's.
Yeah. We were going to. Oh, that's better. We were going to. My husband was going to move to Ireland, and at the time I had a 19-year-old son who had a brainwave and decided, it might be the only opportunity he might have to ever move to the States. So here we are. My tablet does not like this charger.
Of course not.
I'm at 10%. We're good. Yeah. But I'm glad I'm here. I'm glad I'm here. I've had opportunities I never would have gotten, and I love that.
So plant-based says I need to eat more meat to gain muscle. Then that's amazing progress. No steroids. Congrats on ProCard.
That was for Jonathan, was it?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
And a few more things that were said. Thinking for myself says, no worries here. Jonathan wasn't mad at you. He was chatting with us.
Oh, okay. It's all your fault, you chatters.
And then Aaron says, he's just a really passionate individual about everything. Yes. And like I said, you know, and I think we all agree that we all love Jonathan. And, you know, and his passion's he's finding some things out that he found for himself. And it could help us, you know. Maybe if I did lower my fat, maybe I'd be better off. So it's kind of a contradicting thing. Like, okay, you know, if I lower my fat, then and my depression gets increased, you know. So I mean, I don't know. It's just it's an experiment. It's an experiment. Right now, I just need to do what I need to do, and I think it goes with all of us. We just need to do what we need to do that we feel right in our hearts.
Yeah.
You know, like I right now I was doing the ADF. I was doing alternate day fasting, and that was actually helping me. Like it was helping me get my sugars down and everything. But then what happens is you feel sick, and something happens where it raises sugars back up again.
Oh.
So it's, you know, so you get all this, you know, all this back and forth. And the guy I'm working with on SBG for my insulin resistance to lower it, you know, he now wants me to do OMAD for the next 4 days.
I
Like
was
the
going
4 days of OMAD. I hate OMAD.
Yeah.
Because I never know how much to eat, you know, and if I don't eat enough, you know, it's like one of those things with the protein like that. Like if I don't eat enough, then I'm going to get hungry.
Mm. What surprises me, because I love eating. I really do love eating, and I accidentally stumbled on 1 meal a day. You know, I'd heard of it, even doing the KILTZ carnivore coaching. It was KILTZ always goes on about 1 meal a day, and I was like, I don't think now I could make it on 1 meal a day. I was desperately afraid. I really was afraid that I would starve, that something would happen, or I would get triggered and go and eat a bowl of sugar, you know, or, you know, something stupid. And it was I had no control over my environment. I ended up in the hospital with my husband, and I just decided it's now or never. We're going to give this a bash. We're not going to panic. I'm going to switch off my brain thinking, what time will I eat? And I ended up doing a 36-hour fast, and I couldn't believe how good I felt. And so then I ate my meal. I ate very slowly. The next day, I really was checking in with my feelings, and I couldn't believe how quickly I filled up. I was speaking with Amy Berger, the nutritionist on Adapt Your Life Academy as well, and she was recommending I don't skimp on my my calories. We don't really talk about calories, but I was just eating meat, cheese, and cream, and I went 2 months just eating 1 meal a day and couldn't believe my mood. With all of the stress I was finding, I was snapping where things were upsetting me. And before I would have had a better handle on how I behaved in situations, but I found myself prior to 1 meal a day, you know, saying things I knew better not to say, you know, they're not healthy, you know, and just reacting. Where my poor husband, he didn't need that on top of everything else he was going through. And I was really mad at myself. But I found I gained so much more control over my mood. And like I was giving myself, because I kept questioning for weeks and weeks, where have I gone? Where is me, you know, in all of this madness? And all of a sudden I'm eating 1 meal a day, and it's like my body is screaming, thanks be to God you did this. This is what I need. And I really came back to myself. For a long time I guess I had felt like a deer within the headlights with all of these issues just all of a sudden unfolding on me, and for my husband. And the one meal a day, I couldn't believe how much affected my mental health was looking back. You know
Right.
what I mean? And that was the groundbreaker for me, because I felt, everybody was saying, oh, well, you're menopausal. Well, actually, no, I'm not. I'm not. The OBGYN, he told me, no, I'm not close even. Um, and it's not an excuse for bad behavior, right? Being menopausal. So, and I don't accept that. But here I was, like, snappy, and people have seen me that I'm not that person. I'm usually always in a good mood. So doing the one, and I had been already carnivore 13, 14 months by this time. So going that one meal a day for my mood, for the preservation of my marriage and my sanity, one meal a day was a game changer. And it doesn't really matter. Like, if you feel I'm hungry, go and have something to eat. But
Right.
also give yourself that grace if you are, to try it.
Yeah.
Try
I
it.
mean, the only thing I know about menopause that I remember is my mom, for some reason, every time she would like get hot flashes, we would always have to go to Costco, and we wouldn't buy anything, but she'd have to go in their freezer. Like, we used to think, like, what, like, because it was kind of weird to us. Like, we'd go to Costco,
At least
right?
you had a
And,
place
and
to
we
savor.
would go in there, and there would be not, we buy like maybe one item, and I'm like, why do we go to Costco for this? We could have just gone to a regular grocery store, And then I realized, okay, she was heading for the freezer,
Yeah.
because they had the walk-in freezer. So she'd go in there, but if she went to a grocery store, then she would just, like, people like, okay, lady, close the door.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. That is brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. So Sandy is, does Mandy live full time in RV like me?
I do, Sandy. How do you say your name? What is her name? Sandy Blythe?
Sandy Blythe.
Sandy Blythe.
She's my carnivore mom.
Is she? Hey, Sandy. Sandy and Mandy in the RV life. Yes, I am. Yeah.
All right, Grandma, if you're watching, there's a new song out there for you.
Oh, please.
Sandy and Mandy in the RV. See the two of you like racing down in RVs. And Plant-Based Mama says, "Where is my lovely Rick, though? He. Plant-Based Mama, you missed him. Or he's still here. He might be like under an engine or something. So I mean, don't dismiss him completely."
Where do you park your RV, Sandy?
She actually mentioned, she didn't say where she parks it, but she did mention that 21 years for her.
I'm coming up, I think, on 8. Am I 8 years? Yeah, I'm coming up on 8 years. And the first night we got here, I thought, I hope I'm not going to get claustrophobic. But I didn't. And I love it. I love the simple life.
She says it's on 10 acres in the country.
Oh, beautiful.
That's a pretty big RV if it takes up 10 acres.
Nah.
It's a mansion, Sandy. It's not an RV. It's a mansion. Come on.
Well, she has 9.999 acres all for herself.
I'm running. Okay, so let me go to the marks. All right, so Steadfast says, I'm a volume eater when I'm OMAD, but I found that stopping all food earlier in the day is key to lower glucose. Never diabetic, but all the numbers increase since carnivore. And that's, I think, what I was what I was actually alluding to. OMAD's kind of hard for me because if I don't eat enough, I get hungry and I binge,
Mm.
and I guess it's okay for me to eat too much, but then like if I eat later in the day, then I'm eating such a big meal before I go to sleep. But if I end it too early, then I have all that time where food gets into my head. So, like I actually do better when I fully fast than I do when I do one meal.
Mm.
You know,
It
and
really is.
it's either 2 or 3
Yeah.
meals or no meals.
It really is a connection that has to happen.
Yeah.
And for me, I had to go through all that agony. What if? And then it was like, screw it, I'm doing it.
Exactly.
In this situation, I
So
can't.
I
I'm
mean,
not going to
I'll do what he says, and I'll have my first meal tomorrow. Um, you know, and what I'll do is like I one mistake I used to make with OMAD was I used to think that the time like I would have to do one meal and it would have to be like this big meal within like no more than 20 minutes of eating. And I learned that OMAD can actually take it, like you can stretch it a little bit and ease into it. You don't have to necessarily like take a plate, stuff it up, and stuff your mouth in there. You can actually but
I found today now I had a burger out and I knew it wasn't enough food because I would be thinking about food all day. So as soon as I came home, I had a leg of chicken that I reheated in the air fryer, which was nice and crispy. And I put loads of salt on. And then I add one of those like little cheesy pudding things that I make. And that's me now. I'm good till tomorrow. And I usually eat around 11 weekdays, and on the weekends it's really 12:30 I'll eat. But I don't mind stretching my window of eating over 2 hours. But then I'll come back to it again 20, I can't do math. 22 hours later.
oh, yeah. So Steadfast goes, me too, Thomas. I don't fast over 24 hours, but it's easier when I just eat nothing for a full day. It is. And it's funny. I don't know if anybody felt the same way, but when I first fasted, my thought process was, I can't believe I didn't eat for that long. Now it's, like when I do longer fasts, now I have found my sweet spot, and I think 3 days is a really good sweet spot, for me.
Well, my hat's off
Some
to you.
people can go longer. Look at Jerry. I mean, she's going for 30 days, I don't think I can do 30 days. You have to have a really, really, I mean, operative word, you have to have a really strong stomach in more ways than one to be able to do that, in my opinion. And Miniwa is starting her 3-day sardine fast tomorrow. And I was actually thinking of this is what I was thinking. Sometimes I think in my head, I'm thinking like, why don't I try this? And no one ever says it or anything like that. But it's like one of those things like, well, why? It may work, it may not work. Who knows? You're doing your own experiment, right? And I was actually thinking, because the fast I love, the thing I love to do is my ADF. I know it sounds crazy, but when I fast for about 32 to 40 hours, depending on when I started and when I finished it, and then I eat for 8 hours, and then I eat for 8 hours. I have like 2 to 3 meals during that 8-hour shift, and I nourish my body. I get myself all the nutrients I need, and of a carnivore style, and then I do it again, and I alternate. Like it's like fast, feast, repeat, fast, feast, repeat. And I was actually thinking for a little illumin, because I was thinking on my fast days, even though I think that the wording is totally off kilter, no offense, Miniwa, okay, but I was thinking instead of doing a fast on the fast days, I would do a sardine fast. So on those days, I will eat nothing but sardines, maybe eat eggs to include with it for collagen, stuff like that. But I would just mostly eat sardines or fatty fish. And so that'd be on my fast days. And on my feast days, then I would have my burgers or my steaks or my chicken or my pork, whatever. And you know, and just do that accordingly, you know, effectively. Now, the reason why I say that about the terminology is because, okay, the word fast comes from the absence of food. Okay, the absence, right? So how is eating sardines having it where you're fasting on sardines?
I think technically it's because the body is tricked somehow because it's eating the same food. I don't think it works if, I mean, obviously it's not a fast. It's,
Right. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm
you know,
not talking about like how it does. I
but
understand the concept of what it
tricks,
does.
it does.
I'm talking about the terminology. Shouldn't it be called a
Yeah.
sardine feast?
I think it should be called a sardine persecution myself.
Well, I find that to be a little fishy, if you ask me. But you know, but no, I mean, think about it for a second, though. You know, it's like you're eating sardines. You're not like restricting yourself on sardines. You're actually eating nothing but sardines.
Yeah.
So shouldn't it be you know, I'm having a sardine feast.
Yeah.
Like you're imagining, oh, you know, like hey, Barry, if you're still here, that would be a great meme of like a table full of sardines, like a Thanksgiving feast of nothing but sardines on it.
I wouldn't be given Thanksgiving for sardines. Oh gosh. I just can't. I opened a can of sardines one day and I went looking for a straight cat. I just couldn't do it. But I don't think you can mix both sardines and eggs. It won't trick the body because it's
No, that's true. So maybe
yeah.
I won't do the eggs. I just, you know,
Yeah.
eggs. I'll be honest with you. Okay, I don't eat eggs that much anymore. I eat eggs, but not as much as I did. There was a time where I would have close at the minimum, I'd have 12 eggs a day.
Oh.
Yeah. And the reason why I did that is because sometimes I get these theories, all right, in my head that sometimes to me are logical. And I emphasize the word to me.
Yeah.
Logical. Well, I know eggs are very high in collagen. I know eggs are very high in the protein. They're very high in a lot of things, especially the yolk, especially, you know, if I could eat the shell, if I could figure out how to do the shell, I know there's a trick that you could put in your coffee and everything like that. But at that time, that was not going to be possible. Okay. Because this was the scenario I had. I would buy 60 eggs at a time.
Yeah.
From the thing. And sometimes 120, sometimes I buy 2 packs. And I would eat nothing but the eggs. And the thing is, the reason why I did that was because at that time my foot was just chopped. I had an open wound, and I thought that maybe the more eggs I eat, the more likelihood that my foot would seal up, that I would get the collagen and it would help with that particular part. Now, I didn't know that much about cholesterol. I didn't know, you know, I just knew eggs help with collagen, and collagen is for the skin and collagen's for the tissues, and that the eggs would help me with my growth. That was my theory. That was my thought process. I mean, even us going carnivore, you know, the reason why I went carnivore is because I learned from Sarah Hallberg that fats do not raise the blood sugar, and that carbs raise the blood sugar. So it just occurred to me as logic that carnivore would be the best diet for any of us, because for any of us diabetics. Now we're finding certain things out that may or may not go with that, but that's what brought me to carnivore. So Bacon Runner says, "Oh, I got off a while ago. I thought the show was over. Oops. No, we're still on. We are actually trying to beat Gary at his record. She doesn't know what Gary's record is, but you know, I figure. And Minuwa says it should actually be called the Sardine Challenge.
Yes.
Yes, because it is challenging to have. I can eat sardines. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I have no problem with eating sardines. But I think if I had 3 cans of sardines 3 times a day, I would kill somebody.
Mm. If you didn't get a cut from opening those cans. That's the other thing. They're lethal. Yeah.
No, but I'll be honest with
Yeah,
you.
the can of sardines.
I had sardines. I did also have sardines today. So I had sardines and I had carnivore pancakes, but not mixed together. I didn't do like what's Jerry's done. So just to say hello to Aaron, the carnivore guy. Thank you, Aaron. And he was umpiring. I think. Sorry, I keep on interrupting myself. You notice that? No, I had the sardines, but I have been sharing them with my roommate's cat. So I take one of the sardines, I give them to him.
God bless the cats. That's all I say.
Yeah. Now he eats he's still shy. I think he's still skeptical, like who the hell is this guy feeding me? I don't know. Should I trust this? So he is eating like most of it now, but he still leaves some of it. Okay. I'm not going to devour it. I'm just going to like he's probably thinking to himself, like, this, whatever this is, it's very fishy. I don't know if I can trust it or not.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that joke all the time because
It's pretty funny.
Yeah. You say that with a serious face, but it's like like you look like Harrison Ford. It's like, yeah, you're really.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do sardines. And it's probably a mind thing. They probably taste delicious.
Well, the only reason I started sardines again too and started eggs again is because I found out that hey, Christy, how you doing? I found out that sardines and eggs both actually help with testosterone.
Okay.
And if my testosterone is really low, and obviously I'm letting people know that my testosterone, like most people would be like, why would you want to tell anybody that? Well, because I want people to know that this is what's going on.
Yeah.
All right. Like I'm sure people are like, he's carnivore, so why does he have like good depression issues and stuff like that still? Well, because I have low testosterone. So let's figure out, why do I have low testosterone?
Well, that's kind of mental to say, to expect that carnivore fixes everything. Like, why does my husband have dementia?
Right.
Why is it that a diet that's been around since forever, just in the last 100 years got pushed aside and demonized, and now we're relearning again how
we're relearning, like, hey, you know what, we demonized the wrong thing. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. But it's it doesn't fix everything, and still nobody knows everything. We have so many answers that we need. We just have to keep on plugging through and do the best we can with the knowledge now that we have, and don't let go of these good things anymore. I mean, this diet was once a cure for childhood epilepsy, and that's just pushing through now. So many kids suffering unnecessarily.
Barry, I love it. I love it a lot. Do you want me to show it, or do you want to actually wait and do something, like, because right now Barry just sent me a picture, but something tells me that Barry's probably going to work on doing something more than just a picture. So Barry, before I share the picture, you tell me, do you want to bring it to life? Or do you want me to still show the picture and then you can bring it to life? He says it's mine. Well, I get it's mine, but are you making a video? Are you making a meme from it? Is my question. So, Yeah. Yeah, we're like I said, we are trying to beat Gary's record. We're 2 hours and 49 minutes.
I got 50.
Maybe you're 15 seconds off. um he's not sure. Okay, so you know what? I'll show the picture and then we can have the people guess. Do they want to see a meme from this, or is the picture stand on its own? All right. So let me just go on Instagram really quickly. All right. So, oh, I forgot how to do the process. All right. So share a screen, and we are going to do sardines. And this is the picture that Barry just did. I'm sure you guys can see it. Let me see if I can fix this.
It looks like Buddy over there.
There we go. Yeah, there we go. So this is a sardine Thanksgiving. And you notice how the dog, now the only thing that I'm asking is if cats are the ones that usually have sardines, like it's their like go-to, then why are there 2 dogs there and not any cats?
Well, I think he was representing my dog. Were you, Barry? Or maybe he wasn't here for the dog.
He came in a little bit later, so I don't think he even realizes that it's your dog that's up there. But that's the question I have. If sardines is always like kind of like stereotyped to be something that cats eat, then why aren't there any cats at the table?
Because he says all meat, all loyal, all thankful.
Still, there should be a cat there.
Cat, yeah.
I'm just he's in creation mode right now. I love it, Barry.
Are they sardines coming out of the turkey?
Oh, the turkey. Oh yeah.
That's why they're sad. That's why the dogs are sad.
Like
even the turkey's gonna taste fishy. Doggone it.
Okay. You use my joke. I'm just kidding. I was going to say the dogs are probably thinking to themselves like, "Boy, this meal's so fishy." I thought we were going to get some delicious turkey, and Now,
yeah.
did you? Speaking of Thanksgiving, did you see my Thanksgiving live or no?
I didn't. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, it's actually interesting. I actually burnt my nose.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
It's
healed.
So was I. I mean, it's obviously healed.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a memorable Thanksgiving. I was trying to do because I didn't want to do a whole turkey, so I did a whole chicken, and I dropped it into a big lobster pot full of.
I think I think there was talk on that burning of the nose. I think there was around the community.
Yes, it's very popular.
Sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah.
That's okay. So so I'm surprised Barry hasn't never did a thing on that. But I don't think Barry knew about my burning of the nose. So but it was made fun of by Gary. He actually did where he wore a clown nose afterwards.
I think Peter Sellers in one of the Pink Panther movies, he had a funny nose melting or something.
Let me see. Actually, while we're having fun, let me see if I can find the video that Gary did.
Yeah.
No slow. Carnivore. Right. So do the short. And believe me, I can spot it right away. Because okay. All right. So I'm just going to don't do it yet. Okay. Now we're going to go to see there's steps in this. All right. So this is Gary making fun of me. right. Share it. All right. And there it is. And then we're going to, all right.
Cooking heart attack whole chicken.
Cooking with no slow, we're gonna heart attack fry a whole chicken.
I can't hear.
That's right. Got some hot bacon grease here in a pot.
Hold on.
And
You can't hear it?
Mm-mm. No.
Can anybody else hear it? I hear it fine, but that. Could you hear the thing with Jonathan before?
No. Oh, yes. Yeah. That's how I heard his accent. Yeah.
I wonder why you're not able to hear this now.
It was very muffled.
Right. Oh, you mean Gary was very, this one here is
Yeah.
very muffled. Okay, so he hears. Okay, so you're the only one that can't hear it.
Oh. Okay. All right, carry on.
I got a whole chicken that we're gonna cook. And so
Sorry about that. Let's do it again.
today, cooking with no slow, we're gonna heart attack fry a whole chicken. That's right. Got some hot bacon grease here in a pot. And I got a whole chicken that we're gonna cook.
I've got to get one of
And
those for my
so-
dog.
Let's see how this goes. Gonna dump it into the pot of hot grease here. Oh,
Oh,
oh. Hold on, I'll be right back.
what is he going to do?
Oh man. Whew. Got some hot grease splashed
Oh,
on my
wow.
nose here. Hope it doesn't look too bad, does it? No, it doesn't look bad. But I think the chicken's good. Let's see how it looks. There it
Cooked
is.
now.
When cooked,
It's dark.
heart attack style, fried chicken.
How is he holding that with his bare hands?
Today, cooking with no slow, we're gonna heart
Oh my god. So that was the making fun of me.
Oh. Oh no.
So yeah. So this is fun. We hit about 3 hours.
Wow.
I had a good time.
I did not expect. I was like, how am I going to drag this out now?
People think that all the time. They don't. You know what it is. I think that we've kind of gotten to it. Not to be mean. I love Carrie. I love all the channels I've been on. But the 1 hour to me is. Oh wait. Okay, hold on 1 second. We just got a new email. All right, so let's give it, download it. All right, put it up. All right, so let me see. I think I have to. Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay. All right, so I just downloaded it. So now I have to go into here and do my video file. All right. And open that.
Ah, the carnivore sardine Thanksgiving feast.
Oh,
No,
wait.
hold on, not yet. Let's add to
Eat.
this.
All loyal, all thankful. Let's dig in.
Meow! Mind if we crash?
Hey, those are our sardines.
Finders keepers, woofers.
Get off our table, you thelves.
Too slow.
Oh, very.
You guys send that to Mitch there, Barry, or I can. Oh my
That is
god.
funny.
That is funny.
That
Oh
was-
my god, Barry. That he's You notice how you added the cats in?
Yeah. They just can't. You just see anybody just interjected themselves.
Because you know why he did that? Because he's probably thinking to himself, like, you know what? Yeah, cats usually eat the sardines. Not dogs.
And they came just as he was saying loyal.
Right. Like they crashed the party, which makes more sense. That's funny. Yeah, I actually I don't have it here, but I did a couple of videos with my roommate's cat, and I would have to leave to actually no. If you want to see it, I can show that too.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I don't even need that. I don't even need the download. I can just go to
Okay.
my channel because I showed it on my channel.
Okay.
So, and then you're sounding a little tired, so we'll get going.
Well, I'm just thinking my husband will become very irritated soon, so I better.
Okay, we'll just show these two shorts, and we'll go from there. All right, so this is probably the first one. Okay, so obviously you know what the song is. All right, so it would help if I push the share button when it share screen. All right, Kung Fu Panda, and
Hey. Is that your cat?
Lightning.
so that's my roommate's cat, and his name's Panda.
Bite me.
A full day of eating is I would
Right. I'm just taking the code out. Very cool. So sorry about that.
That's okay.
I'm getting like really obviously I'm getting
No one's gonna save you from the beast of bugs like you know it's dead. You're fighting for your life inside up. Get up, get up. Cause I can do you more than any gold would ever dare try.
Oh my goodness.
So let me hold you tight and share up. Get up, get up.
My brother wanted one of those jackets so bad. And your cat got one.
Again, it's not my cat, it's my roommate's cat, but still, you know.
Well, possession is the sense of the law, right?
Yeah. Yellow Rose says good night to everybody. So good night, Yellow Rose.
Good night.
So I just yeah. So now I'm not as good as Barry. Barry takes the cake, you know. That sardine, you know, I just give him the ideas. He's the one who occasionally gives him the picture. He's the one who runs with it.
Wow. Who does your artwork for the thumbnails? These things.
Besides Chad.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and I just tell I it's pretty much if you look at it, it's all the same, you know.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I just kind of like I have a template I use, and then I say, okay, change it to this person. Her name is this, or his name is this. And now sometimes they do mess up, and they keep the other person in there too. And I'm like, no, I didn't say add this person. I said change this person.
Oh, okay.
You know, so you still have to kind of like, you know, like sometimes I'll talk to ChatGPT like it's a person, like it's real.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll be like, you know, I'll be like, did I ask that? And they'll be like, well, no, you didn't. I said, well, then why would you think that this is what I'd want? If I didn't ask, you know, and they're like, oh, yeah, well, you didn't ask for this, but we just thought we'd give it to you. Like, You know, like
Mhm.
I even said one time, which is obviously stupid to say, but I actually said to chat one time, I said, you know, I'm your client. And when your client gives you instructions on what it wants from, you know, like when you're doing a service and the client
Mhm.
wants a certain thing, you don't change and take liberties and do it the way you want to do it.
For real. Yeah.
You know, if I like give you a picture of somebody and say, I want you to have her dancing down the wedding aisle, then I expect to see that person dancing
Mhm.
down a wedding aisle.
Mhm.
You know, like instead they'll be like, well, let's have frogs dancing on a cake. Where did I ask for that?
Yeah. 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 For real, they've got a mind of their own.
They do. It's like I'm more creative than you. I gotta show it off. This is not the Chat GPT channel. It's the Tom channel. You gotta do what I say.
Yeah. Hey, did I tell you my dad's name was Tom?
No, I
No.
don't think it did. But
Yeah.
it's
But
common name.
my dad and my brother are Thomas.
Yeah.
So I
My
don't really need a
grandfather was a Thomas. I'm a Thomas. Actually, that's all. I think in my family, I think that's all Thomases. But still a lot.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sure there were other people in my grandfather's ancestry because
Yeah.
obviously I was named after him.
Yeah. Hmm.
And you want to hear something really, really weird? I was doing some math on my grandfather and realized I wasn't like just I realized something and then I did math to check it. And my grandfather, if he was still alive today, when his birthday comes on September 8th, he'll be 120.
Wow. Wow.
He was born in 1906. So
Yeah. My grandmother, and I'm sure I'm a good bit older than you, but my grandmother was 1912 and she was born. She was the only surviving grandparent I had back in Ireland.
did you say that you're a little bit older than me?
Mm-hmm.
How old are you again?
52.
Is anybody
I'm
in the
much
chat?
older than you. Huh?
Is anybody in the chat's laughing right now?
Oh.
No, I'm 53. I'll be 54.
Oh, are you? Well, I did not think you were.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate the compliment. I appreciate it.
Oh,
I'm actually older than you.
you're older than me. Oh. So well.
That's why when
I
you said
thought you
that,
were
I
in
was
your
like,
40s.
wait, you thought I was in my 30s?
Well,
Okay.
40. Yeah,
I was
40.
gonna say, like, I've heard people say I look like in my 40s, but 30s, that's a really big compliment. Thank
Yeah.
you.
No, I thought you were.
It's the hat.
Huh?
It's the hat. It makes me look youthful.
Oh.
You know, only 30-year-olds wear these hats, so you know.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you gotta get to your husband. So I'm just gonna ask you to stay on for a couple of minutes. We're gonna end the show,
Okay.
and just so I can say thank you properly, and um, and you can watch the ending credits and everything. It's only like 10 seconds.
Cool.
But that way you can see the whole creation of John Together Strong. All right, everybody, live, love, heal, and for God's sakes, even the meme that Barry Simon says, even those dogs and cats would say, eat the meat.